All right. Hello, everyone out there. This is the Honeymooners podcast live show coming at you from the Tiki hut. To my left, to your right, is Joe Conti. Louis Fats is on the other side, and right across from me is Michael Bruce. I'm Ron Albanese. What's up, everybody? Awesome to see you. Let's clap for the audience, everybody. Woo! Yeah.
I picked up watching the quiz.
We were super excited to do this. We were working on the back end, and here is how we would love this to work. There's four of us right here.
I didn't know the volume.
We're super excited to do this, but what we're really looking for is a lot of chat action. Yes. We're looking to really go back and forth with all of you, and we have so much fun online with the comments that we were saying we just want it in real time more and more. And if we get this up and running, which we think we have, we can do this more and more. So we have a lot of things going on. We have a lot of topics. Joe and Michael Bruce and Lou are all ready to go to interact. And I'm just going to talk about a couple things first. Hello out there, of course, like we said. Once again, we have a lot of people jumping in. We have a lot of comments here. Al Cright is here. Here he is. He's only here for a few minutes, so we had to do that. Also, I'm going to jump on over. You know what? I got to jump on over right now to Scott. Scott's in Windy. Hello, Windy. He's in South Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, listen, Scott, we hope you're not totally in the eye of the storm down there. We know it's pretty bad. Best of luck with everything, and thanks for taking the time out. Who cares about Mother Nature? This chat is the most important thing. Great to see you, Scott. Awesome, awesome. Let's see who else is here. We've got, what is this? Puddin' Tame. It's all rented. Said this this YouTube channel is rented. I have to get it back tomorrow. They're going to charge us a whole other day on this. Yes. So we have that. Going backwards, we want to thank Fan Sports for checking in with Cramden's delicious podcast. I like that. We were talking about it earlier, and Joe said he wanted it to be Conti's Cramden's delicious podcast.
That's
but
Conti with a K.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, come now. And that's JP. Thanks for being out there. JP was saying hello out there in television land too, of course. Yeah, awesome. Howie Wiener or Weiner, great to see you. Everyone knows it's windy. Yes. Whoa, it certainly looks like rain tonight in Florida as well. So let's keep that one in mind. Now that the whole neighborhood knows it looks like rain. All right. JP, this better not be an hour of Joe trying to core a apple. Well, listen, he just bought a whole factory worth of this stuff, so we got to sell it somehow.
JP, I'm getting a haircut on Saturday morning.
JP, is he a barber?
No, I met him in there. I went to get a haircut. He's sitting in the chair next to me.
Oh.
And of course, like Esquire, the whole bit, you know.
Yeah, of course, yes. This is a man's place of business, JP.
Yeah.
Can't you have some consideration? This is great. Wright said again, Herbert J. Whiteside is waiting for me. That's right. Well, listen, Al, you can give 2 weeks notice. Will that be enough? Listen, you were sitting right. I love that. Hey, what is he saying? This guy is Hollywood royalty director. He's a bus driver. I know Freddie Muller will willingly lend out his car. Right, yeah, okay, he doesn't care about license. He doesn't care about any. No, take my car.
Apparently, he doesn't care if you smash it either.
I'm sleeping all day. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a weird plan, isn't it? I got a half a day. So yeah.
Herbert JP.
Mark, awesome. Mark has his official helmet on, captain video.
Right.
Yeah, listen, very important. You need the pledge now. You need the pledge, and we're gonna jump into something now. I know Michael Bruce is champing at the bit, as they say, to go in with a couple things that he has down. He actually took notes, and you want to jump in right now, Michael Bruce, or?
Sure, we'll do one of them right now. Yeah.
All right, Michael Bruce.
So, let's talk about the most recent one, which was the discovery 30 minutes before you guys got here.
Okay.
Which is epic. Yeah, that would be.
This is wild. Yeah, this is wild.
This is good. So,
everybody, this is deep. This is DEFCON 19. Okay.
Yes. But notable. So he throws out we're watching Harvey.
Okay.
In the pool hall, right? He throws out, it's so great. Like when I go to your house or I'm here to watch them on television, on the big screen or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah.
You see a lot more detail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what he said. Right out of the. Then all of a sudden I go, yeah. I go as they open the door to walk out. I'm like, I never noticed it was a sandwich shop.
Yeah, across the street. Yes.
It says now.
Deli.
We see the word sandwiches.
Right?
Yeah, sandwich.
All right, so let me just say something right there. A place that is specifically putting on its banner salads in the 50s is very surprising.
That's true.
But Lou, why are they putting salads on there exactly? Joe?
Salad.
Ralph.
But wait.
Because
What
everything
kind
in
of
there's good
salad?
for you.
No, this isn't some Fuji apple salad from Panera.
Oh, it's probably macaroni, egg, or
Eggs.
chicken.
Yeah.
This
Those
is
are my-
potato salad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are my favorite salads.
Right. Those are-
They don't even come with a heading of salads today.
You're right.
Right? Not even a salad.
So he said. So I point that out with the sandwich. He's like, oh my god, we didn't realize, blah blah. And then he goes, wait a minute. He goes, I wonder if it's the same in Trapped when they're in the pool hall. So we look. Have you noticed this before? So we look. I throw on Trapped or whatever, and it is the same. However,
If it has an address on it or doesn't have one has an address on it. It's like 29 or something.
well,
I'll look it up.
what it is that it is the same. It's the sandwiches.
Paulette,
It
you
says
play guitar,
delicatessen,
Paulette?
delicatessen,
Wow.
But it must be on wheels or something because when
Right.
they rolled it over, now you see the delicatessen. The only thing you see is the HES of the sandwiches. So it's not dead in the same spot.
All
when they
right.
rolled it out.
Okay, so they rolled it on.
So you'll notice
Well-
that in sandwiches and Harvey's, only HES of sandwiches. But you see the delicatessen.
But let's go backwards for a second. Well, you might be the interesting. Yeah, the really cool thing is that they kept the continuity of using that same backdrop. Because the pool
Surprising
hall,
already.
it could have been something else. Who knows what they would have
I
had?
think me and Joe talked about it once. I always said, like, when you look out the door, the delicatessen, it's like 3 feet away.
Yeah, you could step from this door into the delicatessen.
Right.
That street must be this wide. This is right. But I thought it was really cool. They must have had that sitting on wheels,
Yeah.
and they must have
It is
just
cool.
wheeled it. It
It
was
is
a
cool
little
side.
off, a grip, or
Great
somebody
side.
just had it a little off. But yeah, same exact backdrop. That is a rare bit of continuity because that did not need to have continuity. And Michael Bruce, I was just punching up something, looking at the comments. Did you mention how they just put like Pig Latin up there
Yes.
as space filler, which is amazing?
right.
It said like Dover Vero
Yeah.
or something.
I said to him, I go, what is it? Was the Honeymooners bilingual? Is that Spanish?
Michael Bruce thought it was in Spanish. I thought it was in German. And I know enough about the German language to know a backdrop when I see it. That was a direct reference to Jackie Gleason in Smoking a Bandit 3, folks.
Ooh,
We were just on my show last night.
Conti
we
and
were
Kenny?
we were talking about Smokey and the Bandit 3
Yes.
because and I guess since we're doing this live, and
We're going to do it live.
And it was awful, right? It wasn't good. But Gleason got to be Ralph
It's a
Kramden.
Gleason tour de force.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be Smokey is the Bandit.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which
Correct.
I remember reading about it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they filmed a bunch of it, and it was so bad that they got Jerry Reed to come in
Yes.
and film a lot of the stuff that they were using Gleason for.
Right. Now, I'm a nut about Smoking a Bandit. Let me add
Right.
something to that.
Please, you know
That
all
is
about it.
supposedly the finished film. Jackie Gleason was the bandit. They couldn't get Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds is coming off of still being kind of big. He did Stroker Race at that point, I think. So he didn't want to be in part 3. They call it part 3. It's weird. Smoking a Bandit 2 and then Smoking a Bandit part 3. So anyway, Gleason, they call it Gleason. He kind of chewed up the scenery and stole the show in the first one.
Right.
Second one really doesn't count. So they're like, all right, Smokey is the bandit. He's going to be the bandit. Very odd. Very odd idea. He's going to be the bandit. I guess play 2 roles. Gleason has the versatility of, in Smoking a Bandit 2, he plays like his brothers, Gaylord and somebody else.
Right.
It's very Gleason show where he's doing Reginald Van Gleason, and the poor soul and all that. Yeah, so Smoking a Bandit 2 features a lot of that. If anybody wants to take a look at it, it's worth watching just for Gleason. Although he was sick when they made Bandit 2, and they filmed a lot of it down in Miami where he was living at the time because of that. So yes. So Gleason in 2 does seem a little, he's not as center to the story. He's still there, but it's not like the first one where he just kind of came out of nowhere and exploded on screen.
I would just love to see him play the both and see what character he would have done to be the bandit. You know what I mean?
Right,
Would
well-
have been, would have been like the Reginald Van Gleason or would have been the poor soul?
What would he have pulled from?
What would he have pulled from
in his
to make that
repertoire?
character?
Well,
Right.
there is now something did turn up years ago because it was announced, but nobody had anything but a publicity photo of Gleason dressed up as the Bandit. However, about 10 years ago, a trailer did appear. There is a trailer.
They said.
Yes, that totally exists. Where this thing now, it became a thing like where people are like, nah, they never filmed that. They wouldn't do that. But they did. It's real. Supposedly the Gleason estate has it.
Yeah, the stuff that they took out, and
Yeah.
Wrong
Yeah.
state.
So that
They don't want to release anything to anybody.
well, again, it's like, yeah, you know,
Steve Francis said that.
what are we holding on to it for? It's the same thing with, there's a lot of Elvis video supposedly out there, like concert footage of Elvis. People are hanging on to it. Elvis fans' average age is about 89.
Yeah.
And just get it out there. Get it out there.
Gidget is the Bandit. Somebody wrote on here.
Gidget is the Bandit. Well, listen, we want James Darren, Moondoggy, rest in peace, of course.
Clint Eastwood was Moondog.
Was Clint Eastwood went in a show?
No,
Or you talking to movies?
original movie.
Is he? Well, I know James Darren is Moondoggy, and Gidget goes Hawaiian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you guys like this Tiki Hut, by the way? But we're coming back to that point that Joe made an hour ago.
I'm on Facebook, and like Scott Hirsch, hello from windy South Florida. Mark Stroud's official helmet on Captain Video. Paulette, howdy guys. I'm pouring an apple in my crooked stockings and watching it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
great.
And she plays guitar,
Yeah. Oh,
which is
really?
wild.
And then, of course, Kevin Who Guys. A whole room just for playing cards and making podcasts? Amy Pierce is watching. She's like our youngest listener. She looks like she's 15. And she is the one that
Amy?
told us, yeah, exactly. She's the one that told us about one of the lost episodes. She loves the lost episodes. And she's very young. I think she's in her 30s. And then Niche dropped in, the great Niche. And of
Yeah.
course Stephen Franchi is watching.
What is it? I'm not pronouncing that right.
Amy, what you wanna do?
Oh, the movie.
I can't.
Gigo.
Gigo.
I don't even know
That's
what that
a
is.
movie that Gleason. He played
Oh,
He played the mute.
Wow. Okay.
In France.
Very good.
Look at this one. Do need 55. Am I to understand that this is the fortune? Love it. Love it. Here's another one. Would love to see the Gleason version of The Day the Clown Cried.
I don't know that.
Is that real? I'm not really hip to that.
Me neither.
JP, elaborate, dude.
Yeah. He's door dashing Gunther Donuts.
Yes.
Don't bother him.
Oh, there's Amy.
He's-
I put Amy up. Here we go. Michael Bruce, you go low. I'll go up. I'll go mid.
What are we doing?
Amy, what you wanna do? I can't run a little longer. Pure Prairie League, 1981.
Yeah,
We wanted music in this show. This is a variety show after Jackie Gleason.
Can you
Yeah.
please? Can you do basal foamine? That's the question.
We're gonna do. Here's a dance you should know. All right, we got that in too. All right,
Now don't.
Amy,
look,
this
Casey.
is your
Don't
fault.
look.
No, it's also Paulette's fault because Paulette has a guitar in her
Yes.
picture. So we got that. What
Why
we're gonna
would
say,
you
Michael
always
Bruce?
play Amy. Every time
Before
we
you go,
Excellent.
Wait,
Excellent.
Which brings up, right? Wait, let's just touch on that one right now.
No.
One of the many.
What?
That brings up the tooth theory.
Oh.
Oh,
Joe's
you want to go? Listen.
I'm gonna
I
go
can
to
no,
the-
Joe. Wait a minute. Just see, everybody say, Joe, don't go because this
Joe,
is
don't
very
go.
important now.
I got something to do in the basement. I gotta clean out the.
Yeah,
the pipes in the
yeah,
basement. I know it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you're dirty. Listen, your problem starts down here.
I know.
No, but baseball reference, right?
Okay.
Pitching reference warms up the piano.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's
Pitching
got
reference.
Pitching
Dizzy
reference
Bean.
there. Dizzy and
And
spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Another pitching reference. Warm up by Norton.
Norton.
Both by Norton.
Norton.
Yes.
See
Well,
Frank's,
Dizzy
Frank's
Bean.
comments great.
Watch it. Yes. Dizzy
Oh,
Bean was it.
playing center field for the New York Giants.
What's
Put Ralph.
Yes.
Her foot's
If my foot could slip like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's his name comes in? How about Mr. Carey? Can you cover second base?
Yes. Well,
Cougars?
stickball. Yeah.
I'm gonna.
But
You guys keep going.
specifically speaking, two references to warming up.
Warming
to
up. Pitching. That's
The
true.
piano and the spaghetti.
And the spaghetti.
Sorry, Joe.
Pitcher warms up in the
But-
bullpen before he
yeah.
pitches.
Well,
Hold on.
Two things.
There's three.
Oh, go.
There's one other warm up.
Yeah.
Wait,
No
all right.
warming up in the bullpen
right.
or nothing.
Nothing.
There goes your twos theory.
There goes-
Right in the
But wait,
toilet.
no, Joe, if you listen to your own episodes, you would know that two theory could be two or more theory.
Oh,
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Michael Bruce.
It's two to infinity.
But a lot of times there's three. And then we,
I didn't know what you
oh, that changes everything.
That's true.
So anyway,
Warming up in the
yeah.
bullpen.
Warming up. Yeah.
I love
What else
it.
do I have?
It's starting to fill up on
I
Facebook.
got, oh my love.
Yeah, it looks like Facebook's coming online.
Yeah, they're coming on.
Joe, we got a lot of great things.
Super interesting flow. Super interesting flow.
Oh, this is good. This is
Okay.
really good.
So
This is very obscure as well.
Okay, go.
Yeah, no, this is good
and
stuff.
again, you know, as you always talk about, like, because we get to watch it without whatever. But this is going back to him saying, "Oh, it's great watching it on a big screen TV." I don't know if I would have ever noticed this if it wasn't on my 55-inch TV. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at he's over, right? And we put on Pardon My Glove.
Okay.
Starts off, Alice is at the table, right? Trixie walks in, right? Trixie walks in, the audience, woo, they go crazy. But if you again, we're talking split second. Trixie opens up the door, audience goes crazy. Trixie acknowledges the crowd.
No
Swear to God. And I go,
Yeah, this is huge.
She
What's the episode again?
Pardon my
Pardon my
language.
glove.
Let's. You know what?
It's-
Let's.
You
You
got
keep talking. I'm gonna.
so quick. Just because all of a sudden you see her eyes go towards the audience. She goes like that.
Really?
As if to acknowledge them.
Wow.
To me,
Oh, that-
and
Well, wait a minute, Michael. First, you said something else that she was acknowledging, maybe like a crew member of some kind too, right? Because she almost looks specifically at someone,
Possibly.
right?
Possibly. It looks like she's sort of like, oh, maybe it's a twofer.
Maybe.
The audience and the crew guy.
Maybe Jay Whiteside wasn't the audience.
But definitely a split second out of character.
Really? Oh,
You,
man.
she's Trixie coming through the door and you're acknowledging the audience. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
yeah, on a TV show. So that's, he'll bring it up. He's
I'm gonna bring it up because
where we can roll tape.
yeah.
Can we get the baseball theme show to do while you
No,
get ready?
just- just-
Speaking baseball, right, exactly.
All right, here we go.
Doesn't Trixie love a moment when she what JP?
We're gonna punch this up right now, and
restarts
JP
the
is saying
line?
something interesting here. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
doesn't Trixie have a moment when she restarts the line due to audience? Yeah.
Well, the mother-in-law does that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, he does. Yeah. The mother-in-law does it. I
And
guess
the
a man
man-
doesn't. I
Right.
guess a man doesn't have to get.
Yeah,
out of
and
the
what's
line.
I love it. I guess a man doesn't have to.
Have to. I guess a man doesn't.
yeah.
Is this the part of my
Okay,
here
here it is.
here
Here it is.
Watch her eyes and her just glue in right as she comes in. Watch it.
Oh,
Do you see?
yeah. You look at yeah.
Did you see-
She's
do it
doing
again.
something
It's
very
so- it's
bizarre
so
here.
fast. It's but she
Check
now-
this
watch
out,
her,
check this
watch
out.
her, She'll shrug her shoulder kind of.
Yeah. Oh,
See,
yeah.
see the
with
smirk?
eyes.
See the smirk in the eyes?
Oh, yeah.
So, was there a family member in the
You're a
audience?
big star like
Is that
yes, really.
was somebody watching?
It's almost like the Carabonet thing. Like that was like
Yeah.
her mom. She did
Yeah.
something to her mom.
Because
with her
as
grandmother.
we're talking about it, that's what I'm thinking of, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm thinking she's actually doing that to someone specifically. It's either watching or was in the crowd there. Because that, let's
It was
just
her
punch
husband.
up one more time.
She was with that one guy, you know, right? Just had
Yeah,
that
I
guy.
think she was married at the time.
This is fascinating. It really is. This is really good.
Right, because
And now you so see it. You can't unsee
right,
it.
and it's not. She's not doing it to Alice because Alice
No.
is not
No, it
looking
isn't
at her.
like
Nobody there. There's
Not
nobody
even
there.
looking at it.
There's nobody there but the
There's-
audience and the
Just
crew.
just like Ed's uncle. There was nobody there.
Nobody there.
What are you going in?
So,
What are you going in?
and she does a full expression.
Yeah.
She's smiling and raises her eyebrow and does like this little cutesy thing.
Oh,
That
So
would be a
what-
great question to ask her.
What is the thing what is the line that she
So-
stopped and then started again?
In
Do
the
you
chat,
know?
what do you guys think? Has anybody seen this? Because we need some help here.
She stops and
Was it part of the
I'm gonna put my
headache
guitar
speech? You
away.
really have to go.
That's what I'm thinking because they all started to clap and applaud, and Alice and the Blonde.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Because I know she was about to say something.
and she starts doing this.
Right, because she said "very treasurer," and then she got an applause break, and then she kind of
Huge
put her
applause.
hands because she was about to say
Say something,
something.
yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know if that's
Long.
what JP.
I don't know if she started speaking yet. She had to wait on it.
Yes.
But I don't know if she started speaking yet. But I believe JP's right. There is a line where she started talking.
Trixie.
and then
Yeah.
stop because of the audience or the
Did she
person.
yell at Ed for something?
Yeah.
Ed?
Uh,
Oh man,
niche,
there is something out there.
niche on Facebook, Cramden's Delicious Podcast.
There we go.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, and I know she did, and I can't think of it, but I definitely, because of course Ethel Owen did the one. Of
Yeah,
course.
well, that was good.
Yeah.
Turn it down.
Oh yeah, now all of a sudden
Um,
we just instantly go into honeymooners mode, and I
Well,
start
we
watching.
start watching it,
And
we're
then,
like,
of
you know,
course,
right.
here he comes.
Right.
You know,
Then-
when our Carney walks
we're
in.
eating cookies.
Yeah, yeah.
JP said he'll find.
Oh, wait a minute. We're doing a live podcast. But you know what? I'm gonna. I happen to see this here. Is that? Did you have something else too, Michael Bruce? I thought there was something else you had there.
Yeah, well,
I didn't want to cut you off.
Hold
and
on,
then-
I have a question for used to.
Yes.
I'm listening.
I remember in the
Are you referring to the two of us, Joe?
the two of you, yes, the two theory, yes.
Number one selling T-shirt will be the Two's Theory.
Two's Theory,
Oh,
right,
I'm
right,
telling you.
Yes.
What is that? Will be
What
the
is
number
that?
one T-shirt.
No,
That-
All right, you know what,
that's gonna be
folks?
Your idea of the pledge.
The
Oh
pledge.
yeah, that's
That's going to be.
Pledge on-
That's three shirts. That's three great shirts. There are 7 days in the week. So
Yep.
yeah,
You're right, four, it says.
I think a Two's Theory shirt with some of the Two's Theory stuff on the back
Absolutely.
listed.
Yeah, that's what I
So
said.
Yeah.
they have to buy all of it.
Oh,
You just put 1, 2 theory in the back.
we'll do one by one. Special
Another
edition.
Theory.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
On our
I
merch.
can't afford to let any of the Two's Theory go.
Stephen Franchi.
Steven, yes.
We're no longer friends, Stephen. How about two theories? Norton and Judge Hurdle, middle name.
Whoa.
Oh, here we
Dude, excellent.
Wow.
Stephen,
That's crazy.
Delete my number. Delete my number, Pat.
And also, I got to
It's
jump
like a
right
wave.
over.
It's a wave.
Puddin' Tame? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It says Puddin'
Was
Tame.
it? Did you see that? Was it after Alice tells Trixie regarding the dress mine fits?
Yes.
I think that sounds about right.
Yes. I think he's right.
What,
Think
what,
that
what,
sounds-
that's what Trixie said.
Is it? But did she? Is it again? Did she have to wait to say the line? What he was referring to originally was she started talking, had to stop
because the
Yeah,
audience.
but she's putting this right on that though. She
Yeah.
had to wait
She did wait.
on it, but I don't think she started speaking yet. So
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
okay. The two of us. Go ahead.
yes. Because during the convention, you guys asked us some questions and blah blah
Yes.
blah. And I have a question for you two.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
How in God's name did you two meet and become friends?
Doing that on the way drive down.
Me too. On the way
Piece
down.
of cake.
On the
I was
way.
sitting there going, I never.
Well, it was
I
Two hookups.
listen.
I can say this.
it was a moonlit night.
Because I said to myself, this is the last.
practicing-
Michael Bruce has got the good end. Yeah, he's.
I
yeah.
said to myself, I need to ask this question because
good.
I'm never going to talk to these two again.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find this out right before I never talk to these two schmucks again. But no, please, I'm very curious on how you got, because you live way up in New York State and Ron is here. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that's a good question, Joe. That's a good
Thank
question.
you.
It's a good story.
It was, Ron and I meeting was a total flub. And and the answer is super easy.
Did you say get a lot of fatso? And
Yeah.
like, hello, fatso. And then you.
I was in a pool hall. Yeah.
$10 for Halloween costume. No, we met at a Paul Stanley book signing.
Oh my God, you're so good.
Are you serious?
We met at a Paul Stanley book signing.
In,
No, let me expand.
First of all,
Let me expand.
Ridgewood.
wait a minute.
Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Who the hell?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I know we've got a couple years out of it, but come on.
Don't
No,
know.
but Louis
No.
just,
I thought he was the guy named Stanley Cup.
He actually married Ralph's sister-in-law. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's it. Okay.
That's-
He's a beast.
Wait, here's your clue. There's a star on his one eye. This is a photo. You're bringing a photo. You're gonna know it when you see it.
Oh, it's some kids.
Yes.
This is an original.
Kids.
This
I
is
have
from
that. I have that.
this is
Too.
from the 1976 Kiss Army kit. This is an original. There it
Never
is.
So anyway.
Now you're all shocked out there in Raccoon.
We met at the
I don't know
Paul
what
Stanley
book
book
it is.
But here's
Wait a minute. Stephen Franchi said they were handing out shovels together.
Yes.
perfect.
Good one, dude.
That guy is amazing.
Oh, and Niche just put 2 theories ruined. You guys are killing me. Absolutely killing
Now I know you're gonna be shocked by this, but what got the attention of when I first saw it?
How long ago?
2014.
That's when the book came out.
So
Oh, yeah.
10 years. 10 years. I would think you guys have been friends for 30 years.
Yeah.
I would think you guys are friends
We're
for 30 years.
equally as stupid as each other.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The two
Works
of you-
out. Yeah.
The two.
Yeah, well, okay, so John Barrett plays a role in all this. John Barrett, which you know, from he's dying to get on. But
Oh, you're what? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
John Barrett with the beard helped us out at the convention.
convention.
John
That's right. Yeah.
helped
Well,
Carney when we brought
Yeah.
stuff in. Yeah.
but then I get him confused with another John.
But you know what John?
I know who you're talking about, but I thought that was best
Maggie?
Yeah, that's somebody else.
No, it's a totally different guy.
Oh, I knew him as John, but I didn't realize
Who's there?
there's
Two Johns.
Two Johns.
There's two
Okay.
Johns.
No, it gets worse and worse. It just never stops.
And it never will.
That's right there.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey there.
So
Hey
John-
there.
So my John and I we're at the book signing.
Gotcha.
Right. Nice day, Ridgewood, New Jersey in the spring. We're waiting in line, to get in or whatever. And
This is like a night on a dog over here.
And
Get ready, here it
comes. All of a sudden, I know you guys are gonna be shocked by this. All of a sudden, I hear somebody's voice. And it sounds like, what is that? Do you hear that? I look over, I'm like, and I see this guy who's Ron. I don't know yet. He's walking up and down the line, reading pages of the book out loud to the people standing in line. Now, I know it's hard to believe.
Let me just
I know you're
interject.
shocked by
I
it.
thought the book was such a blowhard, fake memoir. Paul Stanley of Kiss, God bless him. I grew up loving him and everything, but this book is like, then I solved Vietnam. Then I worked on the space program for a while. And then I tackled the problem of pollution. It was like such a. So I'm reading the book. I'm reciting the book.
We're cracking up, and we're watching people who know him
Right.
interact with him, which is
And
hilarious.
just because Sophia might watch this, we did a photo shoot, Sophia and I, for the New York Times photographer that happened to be there. We were taking pictures in the lot. Do you remember that?
Charlie was
It was
there.
Charlie, and he insulted me. He said if I wear a bikini, he said that that was a long way to go for that, but I'm glad Michael Briscoe. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But-
You never did see my
you should have
baby
pointed
pictures.
your joke west because that's how far
Well,
you had to go for that
Well,
joke.
hold on. You know what?
It gets better.
You know what's really the clincher though? It's the Honeymooners. The Honeymooners is the clincher because John and I talked to him afterward because I don't know, something, and we ended up talking to him. We exchanged Facebook or whatever, friends on Facebook. Time goes by, no interaction at all, whatever. And then all of a sudden, John one day, because he was friends with him too, John texted me and said, it was like a Sunday afternoon. He goes, you got to look at Ron's Facebook page. Tell me we had no idea that he was a Honeymooners fan. Zero.
Right.
But all of a sudden, there's a post up by him that says either something about, I got, what is it, shot upstairs or what, what's the line? Either somebody got stabbed.
Oh, yes, there.
He's answering, he's leaving, it's a comment on somebody's post, and that's his comment.
Are you guys still awake out there?
And I
You're still
know,
awake. Is
and
it-
I said, no, but I said, I go, oh my God. I go, it has to be. You would never write that unless you were. So we messaged Ron.
Look at all asbestos. That's all asbestos. That's total like asbestos wrap all over the place. It's gotta be. Go ahead, Michael Bruce. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying. The
So-
honeymooners
You're
all
right that he really got
brought
caught
together.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
that he really got stuck in there?
That's
She said
possible.
I
that.
think she said that.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Wow. I just went back, but
Maybe the heat from the pipes was really
Well,
cold. Set in maybe Winston
I've heard rumors to that effect.
Hey, so
What do we got?
Vincent Discala.
Okay,
He's in.
Yeah, he
said,
jumped
well,
in.
hello, you space gadgets. And Scott Hirsch talking about you guys. They met at the Sons of Italy Hall.
I saw that. Yeah.
And Stephen Franchi said Paul Stanley was no Basil Homie.
Yeah,
Have you been to Southern Italy Hall on your way back home yet?
What?
Remember where the old? Oh yeah, have you seen it as you're going back
No,
home?
I got it. No,
Where the old toll booth was.
Okay.
When you was what is that? Woodbury.
Okay.
When you pass over Woodbury and the house
Oh,
starts.
that's where it. Yes, I know where. Oh, really?
Sons of Italy Hall.
I'll check that out. I know
Pudding
exactly where
time.
it is.
You ready?
Yeah.
Pudding time. She's got it right here.
Yes.
Trixie says, "I'm." Pause.
That's it.
I'm
I'm
wearing
wearing
this
this
dress.
dress.
Yes.
All right.
Pudding time.
You
Nailed
got that?
Right.
She
Yeah.
nailed it right there.
Right. Right. Right.
Got it
She got it.
That's it.
Beautiful.
I'm.
Speaking of yes,
I'm wearing this dress. She paused. Said I'm.
Did she pause? Did she get interrupted, or she just
Well, the audience. I think the audience was reacting.
was still
to
reacting
something.
Audience chuckle.
Yeah,
Audience chuckle. She
they were
must have checked
reacting
it
to
out.
something.
I also think some
Did
of
you
it is
just
the.
watch that pudding time? Respond to us, please.
Yeah, I think.
I'm assuming she did because she's got
Yeah,
it.
she
nailed
probably
right
went
there.
and
Yeah.
she probably went and looked it up.
Well, that scene is so intense too,
Oh my god.
and I think Gleason is such a railroad like car out of control in that there's so much energy going on in that too. If you look at that, that's like a volley back and forth.
yeah.
Yeah,
what's
very
cool?
intense.
And Art Carney or Ed Norton was
Yeah.
the one that was kind of stepped back.
Interestingly, yes,
He
not,
was-
not caught up in it.
Right.
Right. He
And
wasn't
and
caught
the
up.
funny part about it too is Gleason is making his tie during that.
Hmm.
Right. So he's basically like we always say how great our Carney is of standing there doing nothing.
But Gleason
was
able to do
He's
doing
trying
something.
to do his tie. He's trying to do his tie while they're going back and forth with this.
And have you ever thought about? I always thought about a million times how he was able to calmly make that tie on live television,
Oh yeah.
following the line, staying in character, and making a knot without looking
Did
at
he
it.
actually make it? Did he actually do it? Do you know?
He does like the first three. He goes around. Yeah, no, he does pretty well at it, you know. I want to just jump over to JP was asking, how did all of you miss Joyce at Chiller when she appeared?
Good question.
I was there one time. We played with Nothing to Lose. I don't think you were there though. She was at that when we played with my Kiss cover band. She was there because I remember seeing it and I'm like, wow, Trixie's here. But we got there at night and she was probably long gone. But so that's about as close. I was in the same building as Trixie. That's about it. Yeah, and yeah.
JP. So,
Cramden is the only one that wall to wall. Forget it.
Two favorite factors.
someone get
I
right.
know your one favorite fact show plan. What's your
Yes.
You notice how his voice filled the room?
Fill the room. Yeah.
But that one and that one. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's just fantastic.
Vinny DeScala, right? Ratner be listening to you guys than watching the Yankees.
Wow.
All right. There's another baseball reference.
Right.
I'm telling you, they're
No
piling in.
warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, no. You start right in, huh? The hello. You used to give me a hello, stupid.
Yeah, Taylor J. Cormier. I've never seen Taylor.
No, I've never seen it.
Never seen that name. Welcome. Of course, Hal
Yes.
Wiener.
Oh yeah.
Now Michael Lavassier. Lavassier. Yes, he's into. Welcome, guys. And of course, Vincent DeScala and Vincent Jr. is listening to. This is great.
Yeah, it's cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
Please
We
keep
appreciate it.
chiming in. 'Cause we're just.
Yeah. You know what,
thoroughly
too? Since we're talking about the chat right now, I wanted to throw a question out that we've talked about on the show anytime we've been on. And I know it's a big piece of the lore of the Classic 39. And that is why the show actually ceased to be produced. So, as you all know, obviously, as mega fans, Gleason's big line at the time was, I just couldn't keep the quality up, the scripts, And that it might be true. Who knows? Like, we don't know. right? But the other thing is too, there were ratings considerations. The Perry Como show was kicking butt at the time, as we know.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe Gleason just wanted to fold the Honeymooners back into a variety format and not carry as much weight. Maybe he wanted the June Taylor dancers to come out and do something, and so
Probably.
yeah.
It doesn't sound like.
So before Joe answers, wait 1 second. Why don't you guys jump in? Because I really want to. I want to take the temperature out there.
Yeah.
Like, what does everybody think about that? Was it a quality issue once again? Did Gleason just want to make it a 15-minute segment and pop it back into a variety show, or was it the ratings? Maybe CBS or Dumont Television Network at the time was like, look, we can't do this anymore. It's not happening. So let us know what you think, and we're gonna keep on talking. So what do you think?
But I don't even know. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if he did do it because he wanted to do the variety show, think about it. Less pressure doing a variety show. Because guess what? Now it's just a matter of, all right, we have this guest. They're going to do a singing, and then he's got to do.
It's
He
little
and he gets to go up there and host.
Yeah.
He gets to MC
And
it,
be Jackie Gleason.
And be Jackie Gleason.
have to
He
worry
can
about being
go
a
up there with
character.
a cigarette.
No script.
Remember, he doesn't like rehearsal.
Yeah.
That's true.
what I'm saying.
So I think it was. If it was that.
So Scott Hirsch is jumping in right here saying, I think it was both. Meaning, I think he thinks a little bit, probably it's a little true, that Gleason had quality considerations, and maybe he just wanted to get out of it. But that doesn't really explain the ratings. What were the ratings? The ratings were good, right? Is that just
They
lore?
were for a
that they were
while,
good?
and then I think that the ratings
Well, they had to be
dipped.
really good for a while.
Yes, they were very good, and then they started to dip towards the end of the season.
Mark Strouch is saying Gleason recycled a lot of the scripts.
I think from after the before and after, it's almost like you had the 39, then you had the before, the lost episodes, where they from the 39 they pulled from there, and then the afterwards they kind of recycled some of the ideas and did a little bit of those.
This brings up a good point though, because the recycling, I can forgive the recycling because it's not one show. Meaning, if the Honeymooners went 7 seasons and they're doing something in season 5 they did in season 2, I'd be like, whoa, what are we doing here? Just change some names, change the setting. However, the lost episodes were their own thing. They were tucked into, again, the variety show. Classic 39, then the color Honeymooners. And then by the time they did the 70s specials, they were doing lines and jokes as a side note, like they were greatest hits, like a band would play a greatest hit. And the audience would go nuts with it.
Absolutely. Like a jukebox. Just, I want to see this again. I want to see the. Hold on. They're just killing it here on Facebook.
I got a couple on YouTube. I gotta read those.
Niche says, I think they just ran out of fortune cookies after
I saw it.
And Kevin Hugais, he said he stopped the Honeymooners because he thought Herbert J. Whiteside was going to put him in a new movie.
So I can't get enough of Herbert J. Whiteside. I just love that. Whiteside, what a name. It's an arrogant name.
Freddie Muller sitting next to him.
Yeah, what is that?
Freddie
Some
Muller.
lowly bus driver guy. I love that. That's like Spielberg sitting next.
He's head of the entertainment committee.
Right,
Freddie
exactly.
Muller.
He does have some power.
So where was Mr. President sitting?
Howie Weiner. Oh, you got him? Go.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah, sure.
Time said, was the variety show live? Maybe he didn't like to do multiple takes.
Okay.
Maybe.
And who's Pudding Time?
I don't know who Pudding Time.
I don't know who.
Pudding
And
time.
it's Pudding
All right.
Tame. It's not time. It's Tame. It's Tame.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
But-
Pudding Tane?
Yes.
I need to know Pudding Tane.
But let me just address the variety show thing. When he moved down to Miami and did the shows, the Color Honeymooners was shot there, and also I believe the 70 specials. The sonic, the sound is horrible.
Okay.
It's like brittle, like
Which one, in the 70s?
the 60s as well.
60s.
The sound of that theater when they record did not sound warm. The Classic 39 sounds pretty darn
There's
good.
like 2 episodes.
Oh, we were
where
saying,
they-
yeah.
they have, it's kind of tinny.
TV or not TV?
Yeah, TV or
is-
not TV, you can't hear it.
Right.
And the one with the phone.
Yes.
It does
The babysitter.
Yeah.
the babysitter. It just
Yeah.
blasts that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think TV or not TV literally was like bad wires or something.
I think they
It
had
has
one
that
boom
sound.
mic. It was almost like
Yeah,
they were all
yeah.
catching, like
it's
they had
Yeah.
this thing in the
Yeah.
they had this mic in the center of the
Yes.
stage.
And I think, what was I going to say? The other thing was that the sound is real brittle, but they were getting older too. So
Yeah,
Gleason's voice was more like, was more harsh sounding.
Yeah, cigarettes and booze will do that.
Yeah.
He was starting to get that grizzled, smoker voice. Yeah. Yeah, and that actually dovetails into Richie the Mole, who said that Gleason 70s mustache. Yeah, that was
He's always look at it. He'd come in and look at it.
the
He'd get
Gleason
little mirror.
mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the mirror would come.
he would always comb it,
Comb
right, or
it,
something.
yeah.
Yes,
And look at
he
his
was very
mustache.
proud of that mustache,
Yeah.
but it was an odd look for
Yeah.
sure. Definitely an odd look.
So Howie said live TV was very stressful in those days. Concedes of Milton Berle and others who were in complete control of their shows took its toll.
Could be.
It
And
could
look,
be,
I mean,
yeah.
they did 39 episodes in less than a year.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
I was looking at the dates
Stress
today,
on
and
the
I was like,
writers.
wow, that's
Oh,
really
wow.
tight.
Stress on the writers.
Really, yeah. And so think about 39. That's a big number, man, to go and show up and for him to, not learn these scripts and that's a lot of improv for Gleason. For a guy that's not like, dependent on a script, who used the script as a guide, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? To figure out the emotion of the scene and what's happening and who to talk to. Like, that's a lot, 39. He must have been exhausted.
Well, because they don't make that many episodes in seasons.
Never even
anymore.
close. Yeah.
It's not even
It used to be
close. Some
22. Now it's not even that
now
anymore.
now some of these shows are an hour show, which is 45 minutes.
Right.
It's like 10.
It's like 10, 11,
10,
30.
11,
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly. Hold on, Mike Nangle.
Yes.
One of our full-grown nuts,
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Jackie Gleason show as a kid in the 60s.
Wow.
There were a lot of different characters. Maybe he wanted to show the other characters more. In other words, and look, I think it might be a lot of these things.
Right.
Maybe he wanted to do that. Less pressure. Let me do my variety show.
Combination.
Because look, Gleason, he was a talent, but listen, he was ambitious. But if he could do something, listen, if he got two things, all right, listen, I can do this. This will be a lot more work. It'll give me a lot more, accolades.
Yeah,
Or I can do this. It'll be a little easier, and I can still drink my booze.
Yes.
He probably
And
would have
that's-
went with
and
that.
you're saying that
On the stage,
and you're knowing that as an entertainer.
yes.
And I'm feeling that as an entertainer too. I'm like, wow, if I could just show up. I mean,
Oh,
Michael Bruce knows that basically in my entertainment. I'm just Ron Albanese. There's nothing it's all off the cuff. But the thing is with Gleason, I think though, but some of the characters, I don't know if he was pining away to go back to Poor Soul or anything.
Yeah.
A lot of those characters were actually early Gleason stuff
Yeah.
that came out of a stand-up. People forget Gleason did stand-up in Union City, for example. He did he did Newark.
Newark,
He did
yeah.
all these
Miami
places.
Club.
Yeah, and get it right. It's
In
Newark,
Newark,
like we
Miami.
said,
With-
Miami.
The Miami
He
Club.
was up and down the Gleason Express. So yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know if you want to go back to those characters per se, but more maybe what you said. Come out, with the coffee cup spiked,
Yeah.
because he would always carry the coffee cup in the end of the Color Honeymooners out there. And the Color Honeymooners, he would come out from the curtain in the
Yeah.
end of the shows. I don't know if you ever seen him, and he'd have a saucer and
He's always had a sauce.
yes. So
When he wasn't dancing with Boris Karloff, Red Skelton did the same thing, the same kind of variety show with skits and characters. Freddie the Freeloader, Mean Little Kid, he did all those guys. So that was variety back then.
Right.
That was the variety show. And Gleason, I always say, Joe, he's the clown. And you got the golf. He dresses up in the stupid.
yeah.
Funny money. He
Visual
comes out,
gags.
horror
We're doing
gags,
visual gags here.
With the
Yeah.
stamp on his face, all these big over the top, off the wall.
One time though, I gotta say, there's two times, two's theory,
Yeah.
that other characters used or they used a visual gag with other characters. One would have to be the Safety Award with Alice and Trixie with the big bow tie we
Right,
talked about.
correct, yeah.
That would be one, and the other one would be the tax episode when Norton comes down in his bathrobe. It actually elicits a good response from the
Yeah.
audience.
And then of course there's Pierre Francois.
Oh, huge, huge,
Yeah.
huge one. When he comes, it's like, wow, in the apartment like that. And again, if we're talking the apartment, then we do have to mention the Grand Mystic Exalted Ruler.
okay.
When he comes in, that is so, it is, it's majestic. We have to actually
Did you
like
see
dissect
Alice's
that.
face when he walked in? She's like looking like, what?
Yes. It's like,
And what gets me is, how do you not know who Morris Fink is?
right.
You gotta know who this guy is. You have to know who he is.
I want to jump over to Kevin on Facebook, who was saying those episodes were musical and none of them could really sing. Yeah, I would kind of agree, but kind of maybe disagree. I think Carney and Gleason could carry a tune
Yeah.
enough to get through a tune.
And Audrey could insane.
And
I don't
well,
think
she
she
was
was
gone though.
No,
But
she's got it was
Kurt
Sheila
Kelton
McRae.
was back. Oh no, Sheila McRae.
Sheila McRae was-
Yes,
was-
but again, age.
Jane
but age
Keane.
was an issue here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when Gleason's singing, in the '60s as opposed to whatever,
Yeah.
it was a different thing.
Now,
Yeah.
Trixie, she didn't go to Miami with them. Joyce Randolph, right?
No.
She did not go.
No, Joyce Randolph was gone. You had two new wives.
Jane Keane.
Yes,
Yes,
yes. Who
Trixie.
and these are people that were in, the Gleason realm,
Yeah.
so to speak, for a long time. I don't know. Do you guys out there watch the color episodes a lot or whatever? I always like to mention these things here and there because, the 39 is obviously where we're focused. But I like lately I've been watching the Lost episodes. In the summer, I watched a bunch of them and I came up with a lot of stuff that Lou has referenced before. Yeah.
Can I
Yes.
say something? And I'm going to need you guys to. Guess who just came in the chat room? My wife.
Yo,
Yo,
Continue.
And you understand
In
there.
you are beautiful.
Is in the chat.
When you asked who Puddingtame was.
Hey,
Yeah,
Franchi,
and
is
she
that a
said-
poodle on the
or
left
he or
hand
she,
side
whoever,
there?
says, I'm incognito. In parentheses, but do you think it means sickness?
It's like
I'm just
idiot.
wondering, I'm just wondering, do they listen to the podcast? Because
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's a great question, but
I didn't do
I have to
Richie the
hold
Bully,
it,
that's-
hold it. I just have to say, Paulette said, "I'm loving this so much that I lost track of time. Any Chinese restaurants nearby?"
Excellent. Richie the
But
Mole.
somebody ordered a family meal and it turned around. Very cool.
You guys can do 50 episodes on
Thanks, Steve.
Our American Cousin.
On who?
He said you guys could do 50 episodes on Our American Cousin.
I don't know who our American
I don't
cousin
know.
is. Richie's
Ricky
gonna have
explain
to.
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course
Did that come
JP.
from Richie the Mole?
It did.
Yeah.
Well, then that really has to be
Yeah,
explained.
yeah. Yeah, I've spoken to Richie. Richie's out there. Me and Richie, yeah, he's out there. Yeah. He's
Nish,
awesome.
Nish said I can't find the lost episodes. Nish, on YouTube, where yes, they're not the found episodes. Although when Gleason came out, I have the lost episodes, and they're gonna be on Showtime
Yeah.
for $1 million. All of a sudden, but yeah, the lost episodes. There's no less than 3 multi-hour compilations of them on YouTube, and those are the ones I started watching in the summer. And I have to say, yes.
I was going to ask you. You said you watched a couple.
Yeah.
Which ones were your favorites? 'Cause I like.
Okay.
I like. A few.
I-
think
you know
they're
what,
Really
Lou?
good. We joke talk about.
All right, let's talk about this for a
They
minute.
were like 39 worthy.
Yeah.
'Cause
They really
I-
wanted to do it.
I said this to Michael Bruce. I was pleasantly surprised. Now, again, I don't know who made this comp, and maybe they cherry picked
Right.
a bunch of the best ones, but they weren't as raw as I remembered them. And the characters were kind of set in place.
Right.
One of them was a really short one about the he's going to go to the track. And now he basically turns the whole apartment building into gamblers because they're all telling him, hey, put this bet in for me, put that bet in. And then a cop shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. And then there was another one that was really cool about going on vacation. And I think it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, he wanted to go to Fred's Landing and she wanted to go to Hawaii or something. That was a really good episode. Right? A big, little bit of disparity there. Yeah. I wanted to go to Keensburg, but anybody remember Keensburg out there?
Like me.
Yeah. Besides me and
Al
Lou.
Lester.
Yeah.
Al Lester knows.
Here's a theory on why Gleason didn't want to finish with the 39 from Steve Franchi. Jackie Gleason didn't want to do the show anymore because 35% of the profits went to the stockholders.
Yes, that was great. Here's did you see Rosanna's comment? This is really yes. Yeah. Rosanna Dana. Rosanna Dana. That's very good. Lou is on the board.
Rosanna Rosanna Gottlieb. Go ahead. You want to read it?
You're trying to say her second name there. That's Variale.
Variale.
Yes.
Oh, so you know Rosanna?
No.
Oh, okay.
You just her name.
No.
JP said more.
Joe, read her.
Oh,
Oh,
Here's a good
yes.
visual. Here's a good visual.
Wait, Joe's gonna.
Oh, okay. go ahead.
Roseanne said, Rosanna, there was a reunion special in the 70s, original cast except for Joyce. They recycled an old script where Ralph thinks Alice is expecting a baby. It was awful and felt awkward because they were in their late 50s.
Oh yeah,
The show should have been left alone after the classic 39.
All right, let's unpack that a little bit. Now, let me straighten you out about a couple things for a second. Some of the color episodes. One of my favorites. Some of the color ones are the songs are rough. Some of the songs are rough, but the Christmas episode and that is cool.
Yeah.
You get Art Carney as an elf, which is awesome. And there's also, but you're talking about the 70s thing. We're going to have a kid. Now, I have no proof of this, but I always felt that a lot of people were always like, why didn't Ralph and Alice have a kid?
Right.
Have a baby. I always thought that was a thing out there in the zeitgeist. So there was the expectant father episode, I believe it's titled, from the Lost Episodes,
Yes.
and they did use that for a special and built an entire special on that
Right.
in the 70s, and it was indeed strange, Rosanna.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, they're ancient in that.
Yeah.
And you know, he's got like he's growing it, like Gleason's hair was like a founding father of the
Yeah,
United
okay.
States kind of hairdo. With these waves in it,
Yeah.
and it just didn't work anymore. And again, sonically, it sounded a little brittle. It
Why
felt,
would
you
they-
know,
Why would they pick that topic to bring for a show?
yeah.
All the ones that they've
That's an
done, they could've recycled-
excellent one.
I think they could have recycled anything.
Oh, also, wait, while you say that too,
Why would one would?
wait a minute.
Heavy topic.
Yeah.
I want to say
Yes,
something.
it would
Wait,
be a funny
wait a
one.
minute. Now, this is all separate from the adoption, right? Right? Those are two totally
Yeah.
different episodes, right? Okay, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure we have that.
Yes.
Because they were going to adopt, and that's the heavy drama one.
Right, right.
Heavy drama.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is a great
With-
point. that
Sprinkled in
loses-
with a lot of funny stuff.
Wasn't there another Lost where Alice is like knitting baby clothes for somebody, and Ralph comes in and sees like this knitting?
And he thinks he's
thinks
going to be a
it's-
dad.
Yeah.
And there was
Yeah.
a Flintstone episode exactly like
Oh,
that.
yeah, that I do
Exactly.
remember.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I got a Flintstone knife. I got one. But before we get to that,
Before we screech this
Richard
to a halt
Moore
with
said
the Flintstones.
when we asked him what that means,
Yeah.
right? He said the play Lincoln was watching.
Oh. When that Johnny Wilkes Booth interrupted.
Yeah, no
So rudely
idea, yeah.
interrupted.
So rudely interrupted.
Rosanna said, great Italian pronunciation.
Okay.
I met you guys at the convention at the Jersey Shore.
Oh, Rosanna, that's right. She brought
So-
her husband, and I thought her
Her
husband.
husband?
I thought her husband. I thought her husband. Her husband. I thought her husband dragged her.
Oh.
So I was talking to her.
That's
yeah.
why. That's why.
The prudent. I went to her. I'm like, so.
Oh my
So
God.
I literally went up
Right,
to her.
right,
I
right.
said, "So who are you here because of? You know, who's the
Yeah.
fault?" She goes, "My husband." But no. I dragged him
They
here.
were sitting right next
Very
to the
cool.
stage.
I totally remember that.
Here's a
Yep.
Nish.
Yep.
Here's
Wow.
a
Okay, so now we get all right.
Yeah.
We're only 6 months away from the next convention.
Here's a visual. JP says Morris Fink took the subway dressed like that. That's
Yeah, and they say the subway is crazy now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? Back then they should have been. If you see something, say
Say
something.
something.
Because that is great. Imagine him.
I'm surprised. A lot of you were pretty up on the lost episodes.
Yes.
A lot of the comments here.
We've had a bunch of people say
Yeah.
you guys should definitely
Remember that
delve into.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
person said to us, I think it was that young kid. Remember the young kid from California? Said he started watching Get Lost. And he said we should talk more about the Lost.
Yeah. So did
It was-
Amy.
Yeah.
Amy Pierce. She was another one, and she was the one that gave us. I think it was the adoption.
Okay.
Said you should definitely go and revisit it because it's
I mean,
not just good, but
Yeah.
it's funny, but it's also
Well, the one,
kind
the Fred's Landing one is interesting because they're at Fred's Landing. So you
Yeah.
get to see
You're
Fred's
going to
Landing.
Route 3.
Yeah.
of- Isn't there a Route 3? I think
I
there's the
think
one
there
where
is
you see
something
you're
like
on
that
Route 3.
somewhere. Yes.
I remember seeing that years ago.
Yes,
and
yes.
sitting
Is
there
that the one with the hot dog stand?
yes,
That's another good one.
that's what I'm thinking.
That's another good one. So, you know, the ones when they, when they wrote a song or something, they didn't really, impress me as much.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, or the game where they have that game and are
Oh
playing
yeah,
the
they're
game
playing
to
like
win.
a beat the clock.
Yes,
Yeah,
they're doing
clock,
beat the
clock,
clock.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of those,
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
the first one that I remember that
There
I
it is.
loved was the one where
that's right.
Ralph met Art
Art
Carney.
Carney. Oh, and they keep on
Yeah.
coming in there.
Ed
Yeah.
Norton met Jackie Gleason.
It's
and
the-
then they
yeah.
both met Audrey, and then they
right.
both met
I think
Joyce.
there's a great line. I can't remember the whole.
I
thing.
know exactly.
You're going to say when he met. When
Yes.
He met Audrey,
Oh, yeah.
And
And
what
she
do you
was
say, Alex? Alex looks better than Alex.
yeah. Exactly.
I have a question. There's
Something like that. That's the exact line.
I love this.
We do
episode.
have a
I don't know
Patreon if you
it was
want
a
to
lost
donate.
episode or if it was
Honeymooners
part of the
podcast.
episode, but I think it was a lost episode where they're out on New Year's Eve and he runs into his boss, but he said he was sick.
Oh.
And then they actually show them on New Year's Eve watching the Dorsey
Dorsey
brothers.
brothers. That's the one with the Dorsey brothers.
That's another good one.
Yep.
Great
Yes.
episode.
And-
He runs into his boss.
So
Yeah.
is that a?
You just jogged my memory to Poor Souls in an episode, right?
Is that
Or am I just
BG or
mis-
AD?
like
That's
some
how
of his
I
other
call it.
characters.
I think
30
that's. I think the poor soul does.
Right.
Yes,
Poor
the
Soul is in a lost episode, right, guys?
Yes, he does
That's
show up.
before the 30.
Does show up.
That's before the 30.
That's what I call it.
I love
BG
that
and
episode.
AD.
Yeah.
BC is before the 39 and AD is
Absolutely,
after.
absolutely.
You know, I love that episode.
Good
episode.
Which one? The one you're
The
talking
New Year's Eve one.
I never saw
The
it.
Dorsey brothers. They are the Dorsey brothers.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Never
I haven't seen. Yeah.
He calls out sick and he runs into his boss.
Yeah.
Of course he does, right?
Well, the thing was, they were able to take these characters and fold them into things they like Gleason liked,
Yeah.
and they're able to do that, which is really interesting. Which is like, I guess these characters were endearing right off the bat in the format of the variety show, which says a lot. I mean, we could have been sitting here talking about a classic 39 of Reggie Van Gleason, but no,
Yeah.
it was Ralph Cramden that broke out
Mhm.
and appealed, you know, to
Yes.
across the country. So that's
it
really interesting.
totally made sense because it
Oh,
was
yeah.
the most relatable character.
Yeah, blue
Because
collar.
Collar
Because
guy.
either you felt like Ralph Cramden or you felt like you knew Ralph Cramden. That's
And
the
also for the time, it was completely undone.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me of another sitcom from, and there's stuff we've talked about that we love. I love Blondie. I think we've talked about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
The Blondie show was pretty good for its time, and it's kind of like, you know, it's under the radar today. People don't remember it. There was a Blondie show, like the
comic
comic strip.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a recurring show, right? It wasn't like a movie. It was
No,
a
I
TV
believe
show.
there were movies
It
though
was-
too,
Yeah,
right?
Definitely Blondie movies.
There were
but there was
Blondie
also with
movies.
Dagwood.
Dagwood is her husband.
Yes.
That's her husband.
Yes.
Yes. 'cause-
So and that show, you know, again, these think about the Honeymooners in a lineup with Blondie. Leave It to Beaver's the most obvious example, and then throw it against like, you know, Gleason being in Life of Riley.
Riley. Oh, he's so
Wow.
different.
Right.
Oh,
Right. I mean,
man.
whoa, he's very understated. Yeah.
You're waiting for him to explode and yell, and he's not doing it. He's just-
Yes. Right.
One loss that I like, I hate the ending. It's kind of like Joe with the mother-in-law, with the mother-in-law reading a letter.
Yeah.
It's a good one where he's got
Oh.
the one where he's got to lose weight because he's going to take his physical.
I actually watched this.
You saw that.
I actually watched it in the summer. Yes.
It was good until the end where he goes nuts and he starts eating the cake and remember.
Yeah, it just kind of,
It became very cartoonish.
It did. At
Yeah.
The end. It did at the end.
which is
But it
why
was
I,
actually good leading up to that.
yeah,
It was really good, funny.
yeah.
He's eating like eating at the raccoon lodge, and they're eating. They're just bringing out Freddie Muller's bringing out just like a caterer. They're bringing out turkey. And Ralph Dean thing. Because, I know the whole thing was good.
Like it works at Biazzi's.
Yeah, like
Bluefield Avenue. I had my communion there. Then we went to Lubretti's in West Orange.
You were really like
Lubretti's was,
picking it up.
yes.
Going up
Maybe
a
to
notch.
take your picture for the Italian Tribune, maybe,
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
Eighth
Um,
there.
What was I going to say? There was something about food we mentioned. Food. Well, that's why there's the two most I Love Lucy moments in all of the C39, the classic 39. Again, I've mentioned the one where they have to cook, and Alice doesn't want to cook for
Right.
what's his face, the nasty.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. And then I think the end of the Handy Housewife Helper TV spot when they knock over everything. And to me, that seemed very I Love Lucy. That was almost like they were selling Vita Vigevent,
Yeah.
whatever. That,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those
That's a good
seem
point.
very I Love Lucy-esque to me. And I'm not a huge fan of I Love Lucy. I see
Neither
the
am I.
talent.
Neither am
I see it. I like the George Reeves episodes.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? I like that. I didn't like the Connecticut episodes. I think I know way too much about I Love
Yeah,
Lucy
yeah,
for
yeah,
hating
yeah,
You
it.
don't really
Yeah,
like
Yes,
it.
I don't really know it too well. Here's Lucy, the color episode.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, no, seriously, those were very, I guess, kind of cartoony and way more slapsticky
Yeah.
in that vein than what the Honeymooners did. It just didn't. It's like they
Lot
were
of
just
physical humor.
they were doing a different flavor
Yeah.
there.
Lot of
You know what I
physical-
mean?
It's all physical. We're looking
Yeah.
for Honeymooners, lines. I mean, How many lines do you quote from I Love Lucy? You
That's
don't.
the thing. That's the
No.
thing.
I mean, I'm like I said,
It's the whole thing with her.
People who are diehards who couldn't quote a line.
Yeah.
But it's
No,
really,
but-
it's so physical.
It's her looking and you know,
same
and all
thing,
that,
Emily
and you know.
crying,
You know,
yeah.
you know.
And I think.
Did you guys like my Lucy impression? That was my Lucy impression.
And it also goes to the
Here's
fact-
Fred Mertz. That old battle axe.
Yeah,
I love William Frawley in that.
Well,
They
listen.
all hated him.
Fantastic,
But,
yeah.
But Lou, where does Frawley really shine? What show?
Oh, my three sons.
Da-na-na-na,
Bub, right?
da-na-na-na,
He was
yeah.
Bub. I
Yes.
remember Uncle
Yes.
Charlie first. I remember seeing
He was
episodes of
Bub
Uncle
first.
Charlie.
Yeah, but he was great as Uncle Charlie. Like, Ernie, you gotta eat your breakfast. He was like this
He
brutal.
was such a curmudgeon.
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
They brought in Ernie.
He acted like he was on a ship. He was like in a
Ernie
navy.
wasn't the original.
oh, that's
No,
right.
Yeah,
it was
they brought
not.
That might be the first one
Yeah.
that ever did that
Yeah,
for
could
like
be.
the ratings or whatnot. Yeah, you know what? Again, though, I Love Lucy ran for 7 seasons, I think it was. So again, you had too much to pull from. That's why we're so lucky.
Lucy was 3 cameras.
Yeah.
Lucy was less pressure. She didn't really carry it the way Jackie carried it.
No,
You
because
know what I mean?
she let. I just actually listened to a whole podcast
Oh.
all about Lucy from TCM, and each season they do a whole.
That is
and
not on a non-productive network.
No, it's not.
Okay?
No, that's TCM with Ben Mankiewicz,
Yeah.
but and she
Not productive, it's getting here.
right. Yes.
That's right. They're in talks now.
Now,
But Desi Arnaz was like it was almost like Desi Arnaz and Lucy together were Jackie, because
Yeah.
Desi was behind the scenes. The
Yeah,
guy was
yeah.
the genius. He was the one that figured out how to film it. He was the one that
Desilu
knew
Productions.
how to get.
Desilu
how-
Productions.
He built a certain studio
Yes,
just to
yes,
get
correct.
this many people in there, and then she was the clown. Gleason was both.
Yeah.
And I Love Lucy. I
Okay.
do. I thought, but I loved,
I like when it's Teresa.
I loved Ricky Ricardo, and I loved Fred Merck.
Fred Merck.
Those 2 characters
Yeah.
killed me.
But enough for 7 seasons? This is what I'm saying. And no, but I'm saying I'm not, but I'm saying to your point,
Yeah.
like name one scenario that they got in where you were just dying laughing,
I mean, outside of the chocolates.
Yeah.
Chicken Bear,
It's a
I mean,
chocolate
that-
assembly line,
That's about it.
Vita
the Vita
Vita.
Vita Benjamin,
which makes no
and-
sense.
and I like-
who's up first.
And I
It's just
liked,
it's just goofy. It's-
I liked her interaction with Desi. I liked the fact that she would make fun. It was the whole making fun of his accent
Yeah,
type of thing.
you say things.
And he would say
Right,
things
yeah.
that were wrong.
She wants to sneak
You
into the
don't-
club.
Yeah.
It's like, but it was very
Right.
repetitive.
Yeah.
It was just, to me, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So again, Gleason, you're talking about a way more labor intensive type of sitcom show, right? Again, 2, maybe 3 people on camera at once, and that's pretty much it. Anytime you had a lot of people, it was filler.
It was filler. Like, it was Raccoon
Raccoon
Lodge,
Lodge,
something like
the
that.
basement.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? And actually, we're gonna move on right now because we're gonna move on from Lucy.
Hold on a second.
Everybody.
Matt.
Yes, go right
Niece-
ahead.
Niece said, because they were talking about my 3 sons.
Right.
Yes.
Niece said, in Ralph's case, my 3 tons.
Oh, that's a joke that your mother-in-law said at the wedding.
Yeah.
Yes, Puddin. That was the episode that Lou brought up. Yes, to keep it. Puddin said that there's a lost episode where Ralph needs to lose weight to keep his job. That
Yeah,
was the
because
thrust.
Physical, he
Yes.
had
For the height
the
and weight.
height and the weight.
Right.
And they measured himself. Alice was doing something,
And
got
he put it.
caught, and they
Yeah.
lost an inch on the thing, and Ralph measures him. Norton measures Ralph, and he says, "Okay, good. I'm 5'11" or something like that, 240 pounds." But he was actually wrong. The thing was wrong. So
Right.
he
It was
gained
not
weight
set
thinking-
right,
'cause
yes.
He had the raccoon thing. He said, "I can gain. I got pounds to play with here."
Right.
Because
yeah.
the thing was
The thing
wrong.
was off.
Yeah, it was off.
Oh, that's fantastic.
JP said, Ron, what other famous George appeared in the Lucy Superman episode?
Oh, it's not. What's this? It's not. Yes, that's not George, right? Another famous George that appeared in
Frank or Bill
Superman.
or Pete or-
John or George.
Is it George from the hunt from Harvey?
Yeah, is it George?
That's George? Or it's just a real George?
Yeah, was it a
Which
bit
George
player?
Tell us which
Wow, that's a good
George you're
question.
referring to.
It's a really good.
This is interesting. Niche said Ricky and Lucy would have been great to see them make cameos on the Honeymooners.
Yes. Also, JP and Steve Franchi also say that all of Jackie's characters are in a Christmas episode in the Lost episode.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
the
remember
one.
that. I remember-
That's
I
the
remember
one.
Poor soul.
Because out of nowhere, the poor soul.
He
Yeah,
at the door.
he shows up. Yes, that's a good one.
And Art
Love
Carney
that.
said something like, "Oh, here's that poor soul." Like he's kind of like introducing
You got
him.
those
Right,
cookies over
right.
there? Where's those cookies?
It's almost like when
Say it correctly.
They don't want you.
Do you have the cookies? Why are we being so formal, everybody in the chat?
These are very.
The only
short.
place for me is home.
Who said? Who wanted Lucy and who said that? They wanted Lucy
Niche.
and
Niche.
Niche.
Oh, Niche.
Niche said that.
So
Niche.
He thought they would have been good as cameos on the Honeymooners.
Could have been. Nisha actually also added the poor soul, made him cry. Little personal, but true.
what's the
Yes.
next? Carlos Sanchez wasn't good enough.
In the Lost, doesn't Jack Benny come in as the owner of the apartment building?
Somebody said it right
somebody
here.
said
Nobody said
Yeah,
that? Okay.
he played.
I had it
Well,
up.
I'm not on it, 'cause that line worked out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just
We have to
listening.
bring it over to Lou.
Lou's actually, when we said
It's Mark
people were
Strauch
gonna-
that said it.
people were going to send messages, Lou
Those are
was
good.
actually
Those aren't
waiting for
bad.
the mailman
No,
to
I
come.
thought it was a pigeon on the windowsill.
Not the
Carrier pigeon.
And this is interesting, and this is a great thing. Mike Dangle says the only show that I see that gets quoted like the Honeymooners is Seinfeld. What are other shows that get quoted as much as the Honeymooners?
Got a
I
huge
don't-
one for you. You guys go first. Got a huge one.
I don't think none.
I got two. I have
Quoted
two.
As much as honeymoons?
That yeah, that,
Like to regular everyday people.
That
Yeah.
entered
I
mainstream
think-
pop
and I
culture.
guess it would be. Let's go with comedy.
Right. Yeah.
Want to go comedy only?
Yeah,
Let's do
comedy,
it.
comedy.
Okay, well then both of mine are out.
People do. How about the Odd Couple? I throw a couple lines out.
All right, I'll tell you what. Give me the what I think is the biggest.
Oh gosh.
Assume.
Oh, there you go. So,
That's huge.
classic.
Yes.
Huge
That's
contribution to American pop
Yes,
culture.
because that
Classic.
Bigger than anything that we
Yes.
just mentioned. Bigger.
that's
Right.
true.
That's right.
And people use it in conversation.
Yep.
They don't even know where it comes from. Now, I'll give you another one that did that from another show real quick. Brady Bunch. Calm, cool, and collected. Calm, cool, and collected. It's Greg that says that. I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected.
I'm thinking more pork chops and applesauce.
Yeah, but people don't use that. People say to me, I was calm, cool, and
It used to
collected.
be.
They've never
It
even
used to
seen
be.
the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Pork
But don't
chops
tell me
and apple.
that's where that
No.
could start from.
I think,
Well, Rob was calm and cool, right? And then this.
but I think,
Cool. Your episode. Good morning, report.
yeah. But calm, cool, and collected. I don't know if that was a part of American vernacular. I think that's a Brady Bunch. I think it was written by them. But going backwards, shows on the same par as the Honeymooners that people reference. Like, do you have a hairpin? You know, I've heard people say that, especially in our generation,
Yeah.
or your generations. Or
Well, and we can also go with think about the ones that
that's
we
not
don't
true.
even
I'm
really-
very old.
Think of the ones that we don't even really care for in a sense. I mean,
Oh,
you
hello,
know,
ball.
the hello
Hello
ball,
Ball.
Huge.
the bang
Oh,
zooms,
oh,
the pow right in the kisser, to the
To the
moon,
moon.
like
Ah.
Ba, 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 boom.
Ba, 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 boom.
These are biggies. These are
these
biggies.
are big.
Right.
And people who don't even think about how many people you're like, dude, I love the Honeymooners. And then when you start talking to them, you realize they really don't love the Honeymooners. They
Right.
love the idea of the Honeymooners, and
Yeah.
they've probably
watching
seen,
it.
well,
and
they've probably
it's
seen them a
different.
couple of times
Yeah.
over their lifetime, but they're not big fans. But that's how much this show grabs.
That
Yeah.
speaks to the permeation.
Here's an example of a show.
I said the word
where
permeation.
Everyday people, kids use line from the show for what I remember all the time for years. Not now, but I'd say a good 5 years or so after it was over with or whatever. But Happy Days, tons of kids they'd say sit on it.
Oh yeah.
I had.
Yeah, but that's all gone today, though.
Yeah.
It's
said
all
that,
gone.
I said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, but
I'm saying,
right, I wasn't
had a
listening.
run.
Yeah.
No, I was doing the comments.
Contemporary one. It was contemporary. People were using it. Like even
Yeah,
even like
which was
Welcome
cool.
Back Kotter.
Right.
Same
And I
thing.
think
Hey,
Seinfeld was like that
Yeah.
too for a while.
Hello, Laverne and Shirley. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like there was.
Yeah.
Right,
It
but-
had,
They all
it
fizzled.
had a span of
just-
time.
Yeah, it fizzled. It fizzled.
It's true. It's very
Yeah,
ridiculous.
One that lasted though, and this is not comedy though. I'm gonna say Star Trek. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
a
in
phrase,
for the
You
80s,
know,
for
yeah,
sure.
no, that it went. It had a little bit of a life,
25
right?
years.
I have one. Oh, actually, a couple
Torch.
from All in the Family.
Oh,
Dingbat,
yes.
Stifle, and Meathead.
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 Huge.
Still huge.
Yeah.
Huge. That's a good one.
Still huge.
Yeah. So we're really in the upper
We're
echelon of
we're
television
missing
shows.
something.
Oh, yeah.
We're missing a few.
What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about?
Yeah, there you go.
Like every kid would say to
Uh-huh.
insert somebody's name, who they were
Yeah.
talking to. You know?
But again, that
what you
was
talking about?
Of its
that was
time.
Of its time.
Yeah. For like 6 months
No,
or
I'm
a
just
year, it's
saying,
probably
like,
huge.
it-
Yeah.
well, so
J.J.
the
Walker,
length of-
Dynamite.
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 Right.
Like that.
But we're
The
talking,
length of the show. It was.
yeah, but Michael
Yeah.
Bruce too. Honeymooners, we're talking 80 years almost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
That's
wow.
why
Yeah.
I'm saying that's
Yeah.
what's so amazing about the.
But
whole
fad
thing.
sayings,
Fad.
oh my God, do it like Pruitt. We're going to talk about Moving On, which was the trucking show from 1974. People were briefly saying, do it like Pruitt. Yes, Joe Conti.
Right
Yes.
turn Clyde.
They were saying it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Right turn Clyde. Wow, that was excellent. But you know, guys. Speaking of a Dial J for janitor,
Yes.
and I have a question. I have a few notes on this that I'd like to broach as a new topic with you guys. But first, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do the other thing first. But in Dial J, you guys have covered, of course, in your first run of episodes. And then I started watching it. And it's funny. Dial J is definitely, well, there's one caveat to this, but it's not really super up there. Everybody loves it. It's a great episode.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, it's not really like a huge episode.
Are you saying
Kind
it's
of
underrated?
No.
Are you saying it's underrated?
I don't know if it's underrated so
David
much. Just
Janitor's up there for me.
Is it? Okay.
It's up there for me.
well, I think
There's
hard.
so many things I draw.
All right. All right, but wait 1 second though. I'm just saying overall, as besides just Michael Bruce. Wait a minute. He just said for me. How does this happen to me? But I'm saying overall, like the list you read on one of the podcasts of the most popular episodes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We did a couple weeks ago. Remember we did that
From IMDb.
from IMDb. That was
Yeah.
all the percentages from
I
IMDb.
meant to ask you, was Dial J in there? I forget.
No.
See, that's what I'm
No.
saying. Dial J is not one that's just, I think it's a sleeper. Maybe it is underrated, Joe, then. Maybe it is a sleeper episode of sorts. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there were a few things I noticed in it, just watching it, in like literally the first like 7 minutes. I think it's one of the slickest episodes. And I looked up the writers, and I correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think it's the only episode they did. I'm not super positive on that. I looked quickly today, but I'm so amazed. If you watch Dial J, if you watch the beginning of it, the way it starts. First of all, some of these episodes have these cold opens that don't relate to the episode at all.
Right.
The ping pong thing we've talked about.
Right.
It's really just them doing like a filler thing.
It's a bit between
It's a
them.
bit.
It's
It's all it is.
It's a 1 billion.
Right.
Right.
It's something to just get them to the episode.
And that's all it
Yeah, to
is.
get us to-
That's all
to
it
get 'em
is.
into that meeting.
And it goes long. It seems a little
Yeah.
filler-esque. There's
Yeah.
something going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you could love it. I get it. You love it. But check out what I'm saying here, because in this episode, Norton comes in. It's a great Norton Alice moment, because it's also not gimmicky like the antiques thing, which disappears. This directly relates to the episode. He's got a water issue, and he's
Yes.
telling you.
Yes.
Right.
Then he comes in seamless. Ralph comes in seamless. She walks out to the bedroom, and she actually sets it up right. They say the line, and I actually have it written down here because I was amazed that she says something to the effect of, and I can't find it now, of course, but she says, "I'll see if I can find the wrench," which means she
Okay.
might be in there a while.
Because there's
Yes.
like one dresser in there.
And the way that,
One closet.
One closet,
I mean,
one-
where is she looking?
Yeah,
she
really.
tearing down sheetrock?
Yeah, and it's not.
Is this
and
thing in a
it's-
drop ceiling
Yeah.
somewhere?
It should not be in the top dress pan drawer.
Yeah.
Anything. You
So-
know what's funny that when you guys were on that one time and the trivia question, remember the trivia question was who had what problem with the janitor calling in? No, remember we did it. We had fun with that. To me, that carries that episode.
The calls.
The calls.
Calls are a
And
big piece.
The mistake is one of the funniest things that happens.
Yeah. And in that
It's just-
those scenes,
yes.
I don't think we mentioned this the last time. That is the most annoying sound. And they cranked it in the soundstage.
Yes.
On the soundstage, they cranked it.
Yeah.
It's like one of those old war horns
Yeah,
that you had to
yeah.
get under your desk
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
50s or something. It is so annoying. Yeah, did you do that?
But
Louis did that. Louis did nuclear war drills,
Yeah.
everybody.
But that plays into
I was at Grandma's
Yeah.
house,
It's
Cuban
so
Missile
annoying that he's annoyed by
Yes.
freaking thing is ringing again. Like, and it's
All right.
so annoying.
And wait, here,
Mike, what about
We
the
just-
great timing of the cutting of the roast beef and it goes off?
Oh, yeah.
But
beautiful.
again, this is
Beautiful.
why I say it's one of the
Underrated.
Back right up to the beginning, like they're talking about. I mean, pounding and the headache.
Yes. Back.
Stop right there. Two's theory. We talked about this.
Yes.
2 headaches in the show.
Yeah.
What are the 2 headaches? Right
so
here,
that one,
Ralph has
and
a
then
headache.
the
Manicotti
fake
with the headache pills. Is
No,
that-
that's this
But
one.
that's,
That's this.
The fake
Headache powder.
Oh.
The pretend headache.
The pretend headache. In the
the
Twinkles
blood.
episode.
Okay, yeah.
Twinkles.
but,
Yeah, in Twinkles.
okay.
Yeah.
Inducive headache. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 headaches.
But the whole headache
But-
thing and the
And you know, let's just say it now. Another 2's theory there is consideration.
yeah.
He also, and it's a double 2's theory because
Yes.
he's saying it to Norton 2 times.
Yes. Don't you have any consideration?
Babysitting episode in the barber
I don't
shop.
have any consideration.
And it happened.
Man,
Did you
like,
hear Joe? Joe just admitted it, basically. It was very begrudging, all of you, but Joe just admitted it. We have this on video. You could go back and watch it and hear it. All right? He just admitted it. Consideration. And what's cool about consideration is when Norton comes down later, he just says, out of consideration, he actually refers to it again, which is
I would
amazing.
throw you out of here if this was my house.
Don't you have any consideration?
Here's a question to you guys and everybody out there. As being as you guys labeled the DEFCON threes, right?
Yeah.
We're all the DEFCON
Yeah,
threes,
threes.
these people, right? So when he said, from day one, even when I was a kid, right? He says, don't you have any consideration, right? There's absolutely zero laughter in the audience, whatever. I remember dying laughing the first minute. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Don't you have any consideration? John Barrett and I, we talk about that line all the time.
Right.
It's hilarious the way he said it.
But it wasn't meant as a joke or anything.
It wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my point, though. To me, it's hilarious.
And it's
Well,
He's so mad, and he's so mad.
And he's right.
Yeah.
Norton, as you say, the worst friend,
Yeah.
but he does have moments where he had zero consideration for Ralph.
Right.
Not that Ralph is the most considerate person.
I understand. Right. Now, there's 2 things about Norton in this episode, though. Okay, you go first.
Inflection of voice. Wait for my head to blow up, and you say it all the time.
My happiness being destroyed?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the inflection of voice is dead on in both.
Same exact thing. That's another 2's theory. Thank you. We just uncovered another 2's theory. 2's theory shirts on Patreon as well and available for purchase individually. Okay, get two 2's theory shirts. And
Dude, I just realized you're doing this while my happiness is being destroyed.
Right.
That's a line that I never think about.
No.
oh, and I love that's one of my
never
favorites,
think
Joe.
about-
One of my favorites.
Now it's in my head.
Now I got it from him.
Now
It's
I
being
want-
destroyed. His happiness is being destroyed.
Yeah, because he's such a happy guy.
Right.
It doesn't take much to destroy his happiness.
But keep going though. So
Yeah.
right, and then the whole window thing, right? And then what happens, right? Because then the show just it's great the way it starts. It's funny,
Yeah.
it's irritating, whatever. And now all of a sudden here comes the next level. Jonathan gets involved.
And the
Wait, don't go there
Johnston
yet. So
snort.
hold on. We got to hold on Johnson because
Yeah.
before you're saying, there's a little more packed in there.
Yeah.
What you're saying, there's major stage acting going on here. And you know, in other words, Alice goes out, Ralph comes right in. Seamless transition.
Yes.
No downtime at all. And that happens about 3 times, even with Johnson later on. There's only one other episode when that happens. What is the other episode with doors where it's a seamless kind of thing?
What do you mean?
It's not in the apartment. Well, in other words, like Alice goes into the bedroom, right?
Right.
And Ralph comes home from work and it's like totally smooth.
Same
Right.
time.
There's like almost no downtime. It's like seamless.
Okay.
And then it actually happens again later on too with something else too. I'm trying to look at my notes here that are
But you're
just
saying there's
not
another
helping me.
episode.
Well, there's another episode where that seamless door bit happens. What it is the Bill Davis episode when he's in the office upstairs at the bus company.
Because,
Yes.
Wednesday walks out.
Come now,
Yeah,
Cremden.
yeah,
Yes.
Wednesday walks
Come
out.
yes.
Yes.
They come in. Yeah. Oh,
Yes. And
Wow.
it's seamless.
It is seamless. Out in like he's back
Yeah.
coming into the outdoor and they're walking in the front door.
You're now at the level of full live stage acting.
Yeah.
That's choreography. That's straight up choreography. It's incredible. And the actors are responsible for it.
Yes.
They're doing it. There's not a stagehand saying, go, go. They're just nailing it. They're totally on there. And it actually happens when later on at the front door, somebody leaves and comes in the same way. I forget what it is. It's Norton and Alice, isn't there, or something?
Which episode?
In
J?
Dial J.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, this is happening. This like dance is happening for a while in all
Well,
these
she
early
goes in when
seasons.
Norton comes in.
Doesn't it happen in TV?
That's when it started the whole pounding stuff.
When Ralph walks into the bedroom and Norton comes in the front door with the sandwich to watch TV.
Yes. Yes.
That
It's another one.
same thing.
This is all live stage acting.
Seamless. Yeah.
So good. And they're all in sync and they're perfectly there. Also, this reminds me of something that Michael Bruce brought up in a couple episodes ago. No Trixie here.
Okay.
Dial J, no Trixie.
Oh,
No
yeah.
Trixie at
She's
all.
in what- she's not in like what, 7?
I think it's 9.
Or is it 9?
Did you say 9? I thought you said 9.
It
That is high. And this is a big
27.
episode. She could have easily been here about the water. She could have been. This is like an easy one to fold her into. I'm surprised she's not in it.
There's because 37, 38, and 39, no tricks on the last.
That's right. The last three.
Right.
And
So,
Dial J is 38. So
Wow.
that's
and I'm going to circle back to Norton here for a second because Norton, besides that beginning piece, he's actually very straight in this episode. It's Ralph that's more. He's just like, hey, I need water.
Yeah.
You know, he's like he's just like trying to talk to him about it.
Yes, and also when he does get the laugh, it's just him being a total smartass to Ralph. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You know, when he's like asking for the water,
right.
and when he's like
That's incredible, by the
mounting
way.
up all over the.
Yeah,
That's
mounting up-
incredible. Yeah, but he's saying that like a guy just talking.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, I'm
absolutely.
afraid. He's like actually the voice of reason in this. He's very real, where Gleason is doing a complete farce.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting dynamic that you don't see a lot in the show. And I think that speaks to maybe different writers because it's a little different. It's a little different thematically.
Yeah, Norton's sort of playing the straight guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I need water. And he's just talking straight there. Is this your new system? The garbage is going to pile up. What are you talking about?
He's the what is it? The protagonist, right?
He's pragmatic.
Yeah.
Pragmatic.
Yeah, you were saying protagonist. You were doing a spoonerism there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Which brings me, do you want the big one?
Yeah.
Because this is a spoonerism in this episode.
Hold
I don't know if
your
you guys.
spoonerism.
Okay, hold it.
Hold your spoonerism for a second.
Look out now.
Oh, God.
First of all, Mark Strouch said, no, Mrs. Schwartz, you can't get the Honeymooners podcast in Jersey. And Niche says, I'd love to join Patreon, but I ain't got no connection.
Steven mentioned cookies. That's just a great comment. Cookies.
Hey, Howie Wiener said, George Carlin said, I can be calm, I can be cool, but collected. What is collected?
It's true.
That's
What
true.
is
That's
like?
That's Carlin.
That's Carlin.
That's
Yeah, I
Carlin.
don't know. Is that
Yeah.
collected? Like I don't know. What is?
It
Collected?
means emotionally
Yeah,
collected.
like
It means you're collected.
It's
the same thing.
You're
They're three of the same thing. Calm, cool, and collected are really three of the same thing.
JP said, Ralph
And-
is the inventor of the help desk. Very good.
Well, happy and peppy and bursting with love, rolling like thunder from heaven above. That was pretty big to me. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one.
J.P. Morgan.
Is there a second verse on that?
I don't know.
Or a bridge after that? I think there is, right?
No.
You two should know this.
Yeah,
This is
I
like a
know.
question for you.
I think there is.
All right. So anyway, let me go back here. Okay, now
Yeah,
there spoonerism.
Spoonerism, go ahead.
There's a spoonerism of sorts here that happens when he goes. First of all, let me just before we get there, this is an interesting episode because the hallway is key twice.
Yes.
The hallway becomes
Twice.
part of the set. It's an active part of the set.
Well, our famous line. Dusty out in that hall.
Exactly. Dusty out.
And that's
the
later
great-
on.
The great yelling out there.
Now hear this.
Now hear this.
Yes.
So, and it's fully, the hallway is a set piece here of sorts.
It's
I
a-
would say it's a legit set
And how
piece.
many times was it used, Ron?
Twice. Twice. Thank you. You're right, Michael Bruce.
In the Lost episode, the door opens the other way.
Yes.
That's weird. It's like really strange.
The door is hanging open.
And the
In the
wall-
one we were watching today, the door is just hanging open for like a whole scene. The front door to their apartment's just open. But yeah, so he goes, the hallway's there,
Yeah.
and then also he talks to Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson.
In the
they
hall.
Come out in the hallway.
Yeah, so he comes in from Mr. Johnson, and he's talking, and he does a very interesting interesting spoonerism. And he says, janitor. Janitor. It's at 6:49, folks, if you want to watch it. 6 minutes and
Really?
49 seconds.
So that's, what do you think? It's for Johnson and Janitor?
He just came in. He's talking to Mr. Johnson.
And he's talking about the janitor.
Yes. And it's a fast one. It's a fast one. You got to listen fast, folks. Yeah, you know what? Let's punch that up. Yeah, no, we might as well.
6:49.
Go to tape.
Yeah.
Go to tape.
Mr. Fields.
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Here. Whoa, mama. Here we go. Oh, it's going to be perfect. All right, here we go. Everything's fixed. You got to listen carefully. Did you catch it? It's not easy.
Really?
No, it's Jonada. It's Jonada.
It's more like his
No, you'll hear it in there.
Brooklynese.
No, you'll hear it. I listen on headphones. You'll catch it. Yeah. Everything's fixed. Do you
It's
catch?
halfway janitor.
No, it's not. It's not a full flub. It's
No,
Jonada.
janitor.
Jonada. He says Jonada.
Janitor. I do hear it now. The
Yeah,
first
no,
time I
it's
didn't
in
hear
there.
it.
Yeah, no, you'll hear it.
Janitor.
He says a Jonada must, you know.
His wedding ring. Where's the wedding ring?
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
The frustration on Alice's face. I can
It's halfway between janitor and
It
janitor.
is. Yeah.
It's
It's,
halfway
but
between-
that's what a spoonerism is.
Yeah.
It's a blending of vowels or consonants.
But when you continue on, he says janitor again. He says janitor.
Yes. That's the funniest thing because and that's you can hear the difference though. And you can hear the difference. And here's another thing about this episode. It's very bizarre. In a show that will throw out names at random, there's 429 people living in this building.
Yeah.
Okay. Who calls on the phone? Go. Mrs. Manicotti. Next one.
After my account.
Okay.
Yeah. Mrs.
What do
Manicotti
you
calls
mean,
first
on
on
the
the house phone.
House phone.
By the way, he's a janitor that does nothing, but somehow he installs an amazing house phone. So that is pretty productive.
Schwartz called.
She's next.
Schwartz. There's somebody between Schwartz.
Was it Riley? Not Mr. Riley.
Riley is last. He's Eureka, my
Eureka,
garbage
my
can is
garbage
full. So you're missing
Fogarty.
one. Fogarty! Oh my God! Whoa. Excellent, dude. Excellent. So again, from the top on the house phone, we know that it was used on screen by the following: Mrs. Manicotti, Mrs. Fogarty, Mrs. Schwartz, and finally, Eureka, my garbage can is full, Mr. Riley. Yes, Norton, interesting, never called on the phone.
No.
Now, Two's Theory plus some, 3 phones in the apartment in the whole series, counting the wall phone.
Okay.
3 times there's phones. She gets the phone, look, it's black.
Look, it's black.
And then the other guy.
Oh,
It's like clicking in a line.
Quickly, he has one installed. Funny money.
Funny money.
Yeah.
Correct. 3 phones. Two's Theory or more.
There you
Two of
One more thing before you go. Here's another interesting thing. So we're talking about these names that are thrown around.
Right.
Italian names, mostly usually Irish names.
Irish,
The janitor is never named. It's the janitor.
That's right.
Through the
Just
whole
janitor.
episode.
Yeah.
The janitor and then the janitor.
You know why? Because they needed to be clear that they're talking about the janitor because he's never been mentioned before.
Right.
Probably, but in a show where they do these throwaway lines, he could say, yeah, old man Grogan, that janitor, never really,
Right.
you'd be surprised. I would be
Mr.
surprised.
Johnson may have said his name. Coming
That's what I'm saying. Mr. Johnson might have
didn't say
said
his
it. That,
name.
and he
say his
didn't do
name
that.
coming in. He just referred to him as the janitor.
Yeah.
The janitor.
And I like the formality of Mr. Johnson, too.
Oh, yeah.
He's Mr.
I think it
Johnson.
has more impact now.
Yeah, it does. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not that it's important to have a name at all, but
Right.
it's a show that gratuitously throws around names like
Yeah,
crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I think it was just about, because the character, the janitor, he doesn't exist. You don't see him.
Right.
It's just the abstract thought.
But that's
of
what
the
they all
janitor.
are. You don't see Riley.
Is he ever mentioned any other time?
No, I don't
Never.
think so.
Right?
No.
Nobody ever
Never.
mentioned any
I
other
don't
time.
think so.
There's never anything. In fact, a janitor in this building is rather weird.
I was just going to say,
Very
it's
It's not a school.
big enough to have a janitor living there
Yeah.
Yeah.
and taking care of
In
the
Bensonhurst.
take care of my
In Bensonhurst. Yeah, yeah. So Dial J, and I'm gonna let you go over to it's like, but it's got a lot of stuff packed into it.
Absolutely.
In addition to all this pacing in the beginning, that is top notch. I think they're all super on their game. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, I have to say this. This speaks to him doing the spoonerism of janitor, because right after it, he says, a janitor is not a slave. He's not a horse.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's a little bit of a flub. Nobody says a horse.
Horse, yeah.
You say a workhorse. You say a workhorse. He's not a horse. He's not an animal.
Right.
That does not exist as an expression. So I think after he came in from that hallway, Gleason lost his pacing and pace just a little bit, because he's got to burst right in and break this news.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they already delivered like this little scene here without him.
Wiggle thing.
Yeah. So he has to pop right in and nail it. You know what I mean? So he's probably behind that door. They're probably blotting him. He's probably sweating profusely. You know what I mean?
Get funny money. You could just
Yeah. Oh, he's soaking wet. Soaking wet.
And they got to wear that jacket and the astronaut.
Burning. He's burning. He's burning. So he comes in and he says, Jonada, and, and does this thing. So Dial J really just, and
Underrated.
Funny about too. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, again, in defense of the episode being, I think one of the better ones is, I mean, there's no bad spots. The whole beginning's great. The whole middle is great with the phone.
Yeah.
And the ending is fantastic. He's
Yeah.
stuck in the thing. I am no cat. I'm out there four walls.
Yeah.
Everything at the end. I know it's 8 o'clock.
How about
Everything. And then the fourth
Right.
scene
like?
tops it all off with who gets the job.
but I'm going to say,
I mean, and here's a guy in a hazmat suit.
Don't
Just
start.
happened to be walking by 328 Chauncey Street at the time.
Yeah.
but here's the thing. I think what,
I told you so.
So,
Michael Bruce, what you're saying is
Yeah.
that I think this pound for pound is one of the most solid episodes top to bottom.
It is.
Okay, now it doesn't have the tax episode Insanity until the end, but it has Insanity.
yeah.
So it has that.
Oh,
And again, no Trixie. They're just
Oh.
carrying. Look at that screen. Just the three of them. The other people that are in. Johnson is awesome, by the way. And he's like a Mexican guy, right? You wouldn't know it, but he's a Latin guy.
He was like Spanish and
Yeah,
Hungarian. He had like
he was a mix, but he grew up in Mexico with his grandmother. That's
Right.
Luis part in
Yep.
Van Ruten, Belgian or whatever the hell he was.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm almost embarrassed to ask you. The other landlord, who was he again? And who played that?
Jack Benny.
No, here in the rent increase.
That was Johnson.
It's him, right? It is him. Okay.
No,
Got it. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, he's in two.
I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah,
In a
of
show
course,
where
of
the
course.
boss of the bus company wasn't even the same all
Yeah.
the time. That's awesome that they did that.
Yeah.
That's
they
cool
brought him back.
continuity.
Absolutely.
So you have that. That's pretty this episode I think is really worthy. And even if you don't,
I wonder.
Was- am I worthy of such a is this episode worthy of two things I want to and I told you an hour ago you can talk, but yes, but Dial J,
I'm
super
waiting for
solid.
2 hours. We can do the 2 hour, then we can do the 2.
He also says, I hope there's water on the moon. So you got a moon reference in
Yeah.
here. So it really has almost everything you could ever want in a Honeymooners episode,
And
except Trixie. of course.
Guess what? At the end, he uses his mere bag of shells.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
a Gleason thing. And
And
he uses
well,
that
when
the
you
only
think,
time.
okay.
when you think about that, it doesn't.
No.
The phrase does not fit.
No.
When he-
Ad lib.
Yeah, oh yeah, he forgot about
Ad
that.
lib.
When he does like that little pause. And
He's fishing.
he's fishing and he goes like you said, his line. mere
His
bag of
go-to.
shells.
It's a go-to. So I want to say to you too that tag is interesting because that episode could have ended in the basement.
Oh yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, without.
No problem.
Yeah.
But it's still great. I'm glad we have the tag because too many demands on my leisure time.
Yes.
That's
Oh my God.
fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is fantastic. I'm telling you, Dial J.
The robe.
Okay, I'm never gonna say it's my favorite episode. Taxes. We talk about taxes all the time. Okay, the mother-in-law episode. You're a blabbermouth. I'm gonna. But this is really. What's the hat say on it? Don't look.
I know what it says. I know what it says.
Don't-
I remember the commercial.
I know you.
Mark-
We're gonna do it. And we're gonna do it
I know.
because I think
Is it
we've done it
Martin?
before. Yes.
Is it Martin? Martin Paints?
Ho, Martin Home Decorating Center. It ain't just paint. But anyway, Martin.
Beautiful.
Yes. So they were giving free advertising.
Yeah.
This is like, pre-product placement, except for Nescafe and Buick,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I looked for Nescafe and ShopRite, could not find it. I was going to have it right on this table. Could not find it. But yeah, again, look at we talked about this, the belt.
Yeah.
The belt really that's a good comedic effect, right?
Yeah,
that did
really
not have to
is.
be on him.
No,
Like
When
to
he-
show a 46-inch waist.
When he turns around, it's like a bib and an
It
overall. Or
almost
they-
looks like
they had to
spats.
cut it to get him in it.
It looks like spats or something.
Yeah.
And he's wearing his shirt and,
And
tie.
bust
Right.
shirt and tie.
Oh, and that brings up another point. If he's going to be
I mean-
late for work, was he going to change out of that outfit or go to work in that outfit? That's what I was thinking about downstairs too. Yeah,
With his tie on.
Yeah.
but
So
this
you
is
gotta
this is really
Put out
cool.
the garbage with your tie on.
All right, that's a great
Yeah.
line, by the way. That's a lot. Now, let me tell you something. Now, in this episode too, there are two Norton lines that do not hit, and I think they're really funny. I haven't had water in so long. I'm seeing mirages.
Love it.
Not a
Gets
peak.
nothing.
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 Zero, like less than zero.
Yeah, they don't even know
Yeah.
it's
And then later on, Carney kind of messes up the line and backs into it when he talks about flies and vinegar, the flies and vinegar
Yeah.
line. He kind of says it with the way you're talking with your efficiency
It's
system.
program,
The
yeah.
audience gets lost.
Yeah.
They don't laugh at all.
No.
There's
Yeah.
what's that punchline? I forget what.
Yeah, when you, yeah.
That's what I'm worried about. It all piling up or something. I think that's the
No,
line.
he goes
No.
something about
And you can attract more fly.
you can
with
attract more
flies
flies
sugar
with
and
honey than with
honey
vinegar.
than vinegar.
With something like that, I'm not worried about
Attract,
Right, with your efficiency
Yeah.
system.
Yeah,
He
he
muddied through.
Yeah.
He muddied through.
I think did you think he forgot his line? She said something to hold it up.
He's
And
looking
he's
at
looking
her.
at her.
This is fantastic.
Now,
I
it could be
think
what- it
you
could
are
be just a-
absolutely
It
right.
could be just a Gleason look.
Watch. You got a bang zoom in this episode too.
See, we covered that. Play that back again.
Yep.
I
Wait, you
that
think
was a
she's already going?
great line.
That's my only realization. Besides the exercise is good for me to keep down my weight.
You didn't mean to keep your weight down. You need something to hold it up.
That's a really good written line.
And he's looking at her.
Great.
I forgot my line.
That's the power of Gleason as an actor,
Now,
though.
we're showing
Look what
he
he's
makes a
doing.
mistake in the,
Yeah.
in the
All right.
delivery. And in the-
Is it happening already?
No, it's gonna happen. When she says, "I'll be happy to fix it."
All right, wait a minute.
Wait. Okay,
Is that ad libbed?
that had to be because I'm saying
Right, because the way she's looking and
at it
waiting.
like, "All right, come on,
She's
I got a
waiting.
line. You have a line here.
Yes.
Here, right there.
Yes.
See, right there. He should have said,
Fix
"Fix
my supper.
not get my supper."
Fix my supper.
Fix my
That-
supper
and
would
maybe
be
that's
funny.
why
Alright,
she
and-
didn't get the laugh.
Yeah.
And did Audrey Meadows mess up because of that? What does she say? Just to show that someone in his family can fix
You
something.
think it should have been somebody in this house? can
Yes.
fix something?
Yes. Yeah, it's very odd to say family. It's not like that was common usage back then or
just the two
anything.
of them.
Just
Yeah.
two of them.
Yeah, two
Kids,
people.
yeah.
So I think that whole thing was a
Fix my
mini train
supper.
wreck.
Yeah.
I think you're right. The-
Started by him.
Yeah.
Started by him.
Tiny-
because he threw everybody
Yeah.
off like he owned
He threw the
something.
whole freaking thing off there.
That fixed.
She
that's
said
the whole-
family.
he touched people
That's
off
so
like that.
odd when you think about it. Yeah. All right, now look, in an episode with tons of jokes, you're getting another huge thing here. No pun intended on his outfit. But you're getting another huge thing here.
Hilarious.
All right, now
It is.
listen, this did not have to be in the hallway.
No.
That was a choice. Could have been out the
Out
window,
the window.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Could have
Like,
been out the window.
He's got to go to hall, get to everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
This shows you shrewd writing. They
Yeah.
said, no, wait a minute, make him go in the hall.
Yeah.
And
This
it'll
episode has
echo.
got something.
Echo.
Echo.
There's a little extra in this episode. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's the writers or what, but they're all on their game. I also think maybe the absence of Trixie helps the flow in the beginning of the episode.
Could.
Maybe.
If she was in the way, now you have this other moving part. If she delivered some of Norton's more sane lines, it might not have had the same impact.
And she's standing there
Yes.
Excellent.
Well,
See, look at that.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
It's like what you're doing right now. Two's theory. Two coughs in this one. He coughs there, and he coughs downstairs in the basement.
He does. That's
Wow.
right. Excellent.
He
Whoa.
goes to read the print.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I've never seen the detail. There's like a bell. Yeah, and on
By the
him.
way, 9
Wait, it is.
slots. There's
His-
9 name slots on the phone.
Yes.
Are they blank? They're blank.
Yes.
And he's got pinstripes.
Yeah, it's almost like a.
It's like a seersucker. Yes, a trained conductor. I bet it got that from Penn Station.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
See that little.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Spent 3 hours on me fixing the kitchen sink, and I was the bathroom sink that was stuck.
He delivers that so great.
These are like 3 great gags in a row.
That's.
Hello.
And you know what, too? The audience wouldn't necessarily know the timing was off, so they definitely laughed at that hit.
And the buzzer's off already.
Right.
The buzzer's off.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just
it's-
him. and
right.
It's just great.
Right.
Okay. Somebody's been taking things out of your ice.
I love how he leans in. Love this. Love
It's
this.
like this. It's like-
Yes.
Goes around taking things out.
Love this right here.
Don't be a white.
Oh, that is one of the best things.
Yeah, because he skips louder.
So good
Really
acting.
give it to her.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
love that.
That's, oh my God.
Face. Great.
This is a house phone.
This phone is ruining his life.
Yeah.
In a matter of minutes. It is as his efficiency.
They were better off yelling in the hall.
Yes. Yes. It's another good gag.
No, not small gun.
JP said the old janitor was one of the Collier brothers.
Ah,
Take more than a few complaints to make me quit.
this is really good.
What a
You can't, it's under the laughs, but he says, are you having an attack or
Yeah,
something?
attack or
I
something.
love that too. An attack.
Attack.
It's like a general
Yeah,
attack.
like this. An attack.
Yeah. That's really good.
And I love Audrey's face when he says water.
Well, she just retreats too.
I think that could be like Tiki's.
Yeah, I think it's a brand.
Yeah.
I want to say it's
Yeah,
a brand.
it's a
Yeah, yeah.
Did he pick up my garbage this morning? I didn't.
He's wearing like Oshkosh Bagosh or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
This is when he's being a straight man.
Yeah.
Norton he's like efficiency, and the way he does
But I
it.
love the way he says it.
Oh,
Oh my God.
it's a one time only in the whole series.
Yeah.
The way he
How many
talks
times
like
have we-
that.
Yeah.
When it's full, I'll
Norton is being very reasonable in this episode.
sit there and it all mounts up.
Great writing.
But can't you and the rest of the defendants understand that you got
Ryan
to
Howard
line with
first.
the candidates? You help me and I'll help you. It's an old saying, you know. One hand washes the other hand and both hands wash the face. Never mind what the old saying. Just give me the water. I know how to wash.
That's so good.
It's
So
so
good.
And he says efficiency program instead of system.
Two's
There it
theories
is.
coming.
There it
Two's
is.
theories coming too.
The program after the garbage can. The least worry I have is the I can fly.
You know what? Just pause that. Does that make any sense with your
Efficiency program.
He kind of stumbles. He
but
stumbles a
even if
little
he
bit.
didn't stumble. I don't listen to what he says.
Will get you no place. Just remember, you can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. But with your efficiency program after the garbage can, the least worry I have is the I can fly.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The least worry I have
Yes,
is
because the
attracting
garbage is going to attract all
Yeah.
the flies.
Garbage can have track.
Yeah.
All right.
So how would you like to
It does feel odd. Though. Yeah, it feels odd.
Yeah, he
Even though
he
it technically
backed
makes
into it a
sense.
little.
Yeah.
He didn't sell it right.
Yeah.
I can't drop everything else. I'll fix your water for you.
By the way, I love how she says, "Why can't you drop everything?" And he's like, "I can't drop everything else." It's just funny. It's like he adopted her casual expression.
Yes.
Just make sure you do. My patience is exhausted. And mark my
Two
words,
theory
this is
coming.
the last
Yeah,
time
there it is.
in Fred's gasoline station.
Two Freds.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning. What are you doing tonight?
It's very simple. Tonight I have to clean up the cellar before fire inspector gets there.
He says fire inspector gets there. By the way, not gets here, which is interesting.
Okay.
He's like in a race against the fire inspector. He's gonna let himself in, the fire inspector.
And his,
I don't want to hear any more about being a janitor.
and his hooks roast.
Look at that friggin' thing they're gonna eat. It looks like a shoe.
Yeah,
It's a very
here it is.
Oh.
And the close up, so good. Yep, that's a lot of details, man. You got everything you need on there. That gets a big laugh.
Yes.
See, he's close his line there. Nice cut there, Russ. Nice.
Yeah,
The
really.
electric sword.
Wow, that's
All right, I'll tell him.
it fell on the table. Yeah.
He said, and I quote, Eureka, my garbage can is full.
Are they hearing this? Can they hear this in there?
I hope. I mean, it's loud enough.
I would think so.
They might be picking up some of it. Oh wait, there's an audience. Wait a minute, Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Scotty
wanted to
Temperman
actually.
came in.
Yes.
Scotty Temple.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Greetings,
Love
checking
that.
in with
Scotty
all
Temple.
my greetings, checking in with all my fellow Florida people, but wanted to pop in now and say hello. Rosanna has a great thought about Honeymooners and Odd Couple.
Okay.
Many Honeymooners and Odd Couple fans, they started watching it in the 80s. It just because they happened to leave the TV on after the Yankees game.
Yeah.
Right.
But think about it. A lot of
Yes.
people who love the Honeymooners
Yeah.
love the Odd Couple.
Oh God!
Right.
Yeah, it was
Like
11,
oh, yeah.
Hour TV.
Well,
11
it's Star
o'clock
Trek
couple.
too. It's Star
Yeah,
Trek,
and
like
Star
we've
Trek,
said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing is too that a lot of times the Yankees would end because they would go long.
Yeah.
And then, so we joined the Odd Couple already in progress. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, Sky's in Delray Beach, which is east coast of Florida, for
Yeah.
those of you. Delray Beach, dude, you have the classic pinball museum there, right? It's like it's got a bar in there, right? They have some great pinball machines. I've been there. Awesome. Of course, I don't know if you live there, you're from Jersey, but the original classic pinball museum is in Asbury Park here at the boardwalk. Have you been there, Michael Bruce? I don't think you've ever been there.
No, I haven't been.
Yeah, but this one is the big one I was telling you about, Delray Beach. It's right in the heart there, near all those cool bars and restaurants. Awesomeness. I don't think you're in the path of the hurricane too badly, so go play some pinball, dude. Also, earlier there was a good comment about Get Smart being in pop culture.
Oh yeah.
Cone of Silence.
Oh my God.
Missed
Would
it
you-
by
would you
that
believe-
much.
would
Would
you
you
believe
believe?
Mr.
There's three right there. Those three
Yeah.
right there. Huge.
Yeah.
I think they were big for a while. And Get Smart was a little before my time, but it was bigger than people realized.
Yeah, I
The
know.
spy genre was
Yeah, it
massive.
was big back then. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, how can you go wrong with Buck Henry and Mel Brooks?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Can't
writing
go
was
wrong.
top notch. And don't forget,
was
too,
fun.
again, James Bond in the theaters. And to a lesser but significant extent, Matt Helm.
Matt Helm.
You had Matt Helm.
Matt
You
Helm.
had Dean
I
Martin.
remember Dean
Matt
Martin.
Oh, dude.
And
Matt-
Tony Rome.
There are three Matt. Anybody back me up here?
Next to that was Tony Rome.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. You know, you want to talk about Sinatra and Martin playing law enforcement guys or private investigators or spies. Contract on Cherry Street is an awesome Sinatra TV movie from the late 70s, I believe. It's a really good one. I think it's on YouTube if you want to watch that. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that one before, but he plays a cop in that. And there's a lot of 70s New York footage. Even just for that alone, you probably want to watch it. Matt Helm was made into an awful short-lived TV show in 1975, and a well-known actor, Franciosa,
Tony Franciosa.
played Matt Helm. Did not play him with the swagger or 60s swinging style of Dean Martin
Steve Martin.
at
Never
all,
heard of that.
Yeah.
because Matt Helm. Matt
Martin
Helm,
movies. They
yeah.
were private. It was like not a private.
He made 3 of them. He was a detective. Matt Helm. There's 3 of them, and the first 2 were really good. The third one's iffy, but you definitely want to check out Matt Helm if you want to see some of that. The sets are great. These are movies again that probably influenced. What is that? What was the Michael Myers movies? Spy. Oh,
No.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. Yeah, these are movies that definitely played into that.
Now, Get Smart was spoofing Man from Uncle.
Absolutely.
That's what that was. Spoofing.
Absolutely, it was because chaos with the
Chaos,
abbreviation.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Good call.
I
Good
never
call.
seen
yeah.
Man from Uncle.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
You
about
know,
that.
I never saw much of it.
I like
Based
it.
on-
It's okay. And then, of course, The Girl from Uncle
Yeah,
with
no.
starring,
I don't know.
oh,
I
what's her name?
remember.
From Heart to Heart. From Heart to
Stephanie
Heart.
Powers?
Stephanie Powers was the girl from Uncle, no? I think so. Chat, I need you here.
Yeah.
But I believe so.
This is how
Yeah.
it's gonna appear.
Girl from Uncle didn't play as well as the Man from Uncle had
But
it
that's
going
what-
on.
But that's what
Yes,
Get
yes.
Smart was the.
It was a riff on that.
Yes.
Yeah, but what happened was, him in 99, Barbara Feldon, it actually kind of came together, and that's
Yeah.
the Toto song 99.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
named after that, of course. Wow.
Mark Strout says, "Get Smart." Leonard Stern.
Leonard
Yeah,
Stern
Leonard
was
Stern
the
was Get Smart.
executive
Wow.
producer or
Yeah.
producer. Yeah,
Did not know.
Okay,
Yeah.
he was the writer. Him in.
yeah. Great show.
Oh,
Great show. There's an episode that
who's better than Jaime?
Oh,
Oh,
Jaime Larrabee was a great supporting character. There's an
Agent
episode.
13, those are like in a garbage.
Agent 13. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And also, you might want to check out The Nude Bomb, which is from 1980. It was the comeback Get Smart movie.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, he goes to Germany in that. You folks have probably seen it. It was an HBO classic in the early 80s. It was always on HBO. Michael Bruce, you look like you're falling asleep.
I'm not falling asleep. I'm
Good.
listening.
Okay, no, good.
Jaime was played by Dick
But-
Gautier.
Dick
He
Gautier
was
played
a
him,
robot.
and he looked like he loved it.
And he being a robot, he took everything you said literally. So
Yes.
of course, to throw all these.
So hilarity ensued.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was just hysterical. It was like, all right, come on, Jaime, shake a leg, and he literally shake his
a
leg.
leg.
It was like, it was
There's
so
a
Jaime was in it.
there's a late in the game episode where Chaos has an agent. He's like the most deadly guy in the world because his name is Simon the Likeable. And if you look at him, you want to go arrest him, and then you look at him and his eyes twinkle, and you're like, I love this guy. It is one of the funniest things. That one episode alone, I think it's season 5, folks, it's been a major influence on me and what I do in comedy. RonAlbanese.com. And Robe. How many episodes in a robe?
How many times is Ralph in a robe?
Wow, that's a great question.
This one?
Chat,
The Christmas one?
Facebook,
Here.
YouTube,
This one.
Christmas robe.
Christmas.
Christmas
Also,
robe has a pattern,
Matter
no.
of Life and
Matter
Death.
of life and death.
Yes, when he finds out he's not going to
Yeah.
die.
Robe count. How many? So that's 5 robes?
That's 3 right now.
Was he?
Yes,
oh,
Steve, we
was
got
he
the
in a
phone
robe?
on a fire
Is he
escape from
the
Funny
blueberry
Money.
guy?
No,
No,
he's
he's
in a
not.
suit.
He's in a suit.
Suit, yeah. So right
JP said Johnson said the janitor's name in the hall. It's not canon, JP. We didn't get to hear it. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about Steve.
Stephen Franchi. Welcome to the Get Smart podcast with Joe Conte, Louis Fat, Ron, and Bruce.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, people, Mets won tonight.
Just saw
No.
that. Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very
They won.
cool.
Guess we're not going to be hearing that Yankees theme song anytime soon. Yeah, Meet the Mets is great.
Here, Mike, look at that.
Great song, by the way.
Wallpaper.
Wow, dude. Vintage.
Oh,
Hero, there he is.
he's wearing
We
14.
talked about Pete.
Then he wore 44.
Yeah, that's when he was first came up with Cincinnati.
Oh.
He was playing second base.
Talk about like
Oh, there was a jet that
never changing on Pete
Yeah,
Rose,
the
like
jet that-
never yielding on that guy.
No.
Never yielding on that guy. Unbelievable.
Oh, Abdul Salam.
Abdul Salam?
Yes.
Because he's
Oh,
probably
did he really?
Yes. 71, I think they said.
Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you guys present the ideas about T-shirts? like officially in the last
Joe
episode?
mentioned it in the last. Oh, speaking of t-shirts, you see the guy in here who's like hijacked our t-shirt?
I saw that.
What's that all about?
I removed it. It was
Is it?
weird.
Yeah.
Somebody, you know how like
Yeah,
those-
that's
those-
happening everywhere.
Those fake, But this one, it wasn't just like Honeymooners. It was the Honeymooners podcast flipped in New Jersey.
Oh my God.
Well,
And it was like a band thing. It was kind of weird. Yeah.
hijacking our.
Yeah.
Too bad we weren't copyrighted.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this AI that whoever is doing, you know, what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
It's,
think it
doing-
was.
it's
Yeah.
incredible how it's
Pretty
generating.
cool.
Picks up the
t-shirt.
algorithms. Yeah. We should actually steal
That's
that
an idea.
That's
Oh,
$1 million
There you go, right
idea.
there. One of the most underrated. Oh,
Great Outdoors? I don't know what happened. Yeah, something started.
No, it was the
Mr.
advocates
Fields on the
stuff.
bottom. Mr. Fields was on the bottom.
Oh, that.
Sid
Yes.
Fields.
Yes.
Who
Gotcha.
was on the Jackie Gleason show?
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Sid Fields was on the Jackie Gleason show.
I liked him. He was-
Gleason's power in front of the camera was just amazing. We talked about this like 10 episodes ago, but it reminds me of when he had that bomb show and came out in the chair.
Oh yeah, the charity.
I watched that like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Again,
Did you?
And it's fantastic.
The command he had.
To go up there and do that,
Mhm.
and to be so calm, cool, and collected,
Right.
to be that humble, to kind of go, to be that
Humble.
humble, and to go up there and go, that was a bomb. And then it was 10 minutes of just him with the spiked coffee.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it
The
is
spike coffee.
phenomenal, especially when you watch it for like the second and third time. It's just great. It's an unheard of thing to do.
Yeah.
No,
Like nobody,
no, incredible.
Nobody does that.
He's
Nobody.
not good, so he could get a bigger laugh doing what he did,
Yes,
and he'll do it just to get that bigger laugh.
absolutely.
That's why he did it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
it's just. It was
And it's
just
really
tremendous.
cool how he owned it.
Oh,
He owned it. He's like, that did not work. That
Yeah.
did not work. But again, you know, you look at that landscape of the 50s and it was very nascent, of course, but it was just
What's
very
nascent? Michael? No.
nascent means like new, you know.
Oh, okay.
It was new at the time, and a lot of stuff
Well,
was
that's why
very
there was so,
soft.
There was so many things.
There was a lot of
variety.
variety, but it was all soft stuff. You
Yeah.
know, there was nothing like the Honeymooners that was definitely more raw and visceral and very East Coast in a time when everything was like, you know, this was ethereal type of Leave It to Beaver, these sets. You know, even Dennis the Menace was light.
Yeah.
Even Dennis the Menace was light. Dennis the Menace had no less than 2 Mr. Wilsons. Am I correct, everybody? I think there were 2 Mr. Wilsons.
Yeah,
Joe?
the one that also was on Mr. Ed, and then the
Excellent.
and then the other
Mr. Ed,
Yeah.
another show. You know, when you look at the landscape and then you see this thing come along in the time, this is like punk rock right here. Totally.
That's
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
No,
great
Amazing. We all had that.
Nothing
hat.
suburb about it.
that's
That's
crazy.
right.
It's awesome.
We're looking
We
at
all
that
wore
hat,
that. We
Yep.
all wore
and we all
that.
wore that hat. That hat
I-
that's sitting right
wow.
there. It's just
Think about it. It's crazy.
We're talking about the T-shirts, and Stephen Frenchie's like, he has 2,000 of those shirts in a warehouse in the Bronx.
oh my god. So we were talking about the T-shirt that the person put
Yeah.
up. You know,
Good
the
one,
fan.
Mark. Yeah.
Stephen Franchi. That guy's got 2,000 of those
You
shirts.
just
in a
You just said
warehouse.
that.
He just-
Oh.
I didn't even hear you say that.
I'm like, oh, Steve, we're another one? Oh,
Throw that go in here.
It's rapid fire.
What about great podcast guys? Did you read that one too?
No,
Mark Strouch, great podcast guys.
Yes,
you should
I
do
just
this
had
again
it.
real soon. How about tomorrow
Yeah.
night?
Yep. Awesome. We appreciate the comments. Believe me, we want you guys to be a part of these lives as much as we are. Will Burr, Vinny DeScala. Yes, yes. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. The amazing Red. Yes. My
I
favorite
remember
Martian.
when Clint Eastwood was on there. He was
You're
like,
putting Clint Eastwood on every show tonight.
Yeah.
Next, you're going to tell me it was Hazel.
No,
That
when
was
did-
Shirley Booth.
That was Shirley Booth. Yes, Mr. Baxter. No, Mr. Baxter. The whole freaking show. No, Mr. Baxter. Yes, Mr. Baxter. Hazel is like, forget it. Now, Hazel has the distinction of being black and white and color. No?
Oh, I don't know.
Were there color episodes of Hazel out there? Michael Bruce.
I don't even remember.
I think
I
Hazel
never
was
heard
in
of
color.
Hazel until I saw it on like Nick at Night like 15 years
Yeah,
ago.
I
Never,
always think
You didn't watch it in first run?
No, never.
No,
heard
I
of
was a joke.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh,
I've
that
got
wasn't
50s.
more, yeah, but still.
No, me too. That's when I
remember
saw
being
it.
in
But
color.
I used to watch it on Channel 5 when it would run.
Yeah.
But I think it was in black and white
Okay.
and color.
Okay.
Shirley
Okay.
Booth, that was
Shirley
her
Booth.
big vehicle.
Yep.
Shirley Booth
her
was
own
like, wow, when you watch things like the Brady Bunch, Alice had a bit of Hazel.
Yes.
Definitely
It had
pulling
that
from that.
maid, yeah,
But then
like
again,
that maid thing.
yes,
where
but
they're like a worker,
but
you
a
know,
member of the
but a member
family.
of the
family, wife's
And
cracking.
they could offer advice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
because Hazel was running that whole household.
Yeah.
You didn't make a move.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Baxter had no power in that house. Okay, she pretended with the yes, Mr. Baxter, no, Mr. Baxter.
Think about how clever that is. It was the 60s, right? So women still weren't really empowered, but
Right.
they did it by, hey, she's their servant, but she's still
She's
the star
wise.
of the show,
Right.
and she's the smart.
Now, Ambi Davis also was Schultzy, no? She was Schultzy, which I think she was a maid type, right, in the 50s or 60s as well. Audience, chat audience.
Are you out there?
I believe her character was Schultze. That's Schulze. Yes.
Who?
Or no?
Steve Franchi.
Wait till you see Puddin'
Food
over here.
Theory. This podcast has now been on for 2 hours.
Love you, Franchi. And you have 2 animals in your profile photo.
Puddin' tape.
Puddin', yeah, read Puddin'.
If they ever institute another month club, we have a pretty good idea who's going to be January, February, March.
And May, June, July. Yeah. And what we're going to say, but you were talking about Hazel, and there's something else. I want to see Battle Royal. William Fawley's Uncle Charlie versus Hazel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a medieval times. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
And I'd also,
You know what I mean?
like
And then
William Demarest.
You could be a squire, I'll be a squire.
Oh yeah.
Who?
I liked William Demarest.
Well, no, that's definitive.
Yeah.
This is like William Bendix versus Jackie Gleason and Life of Riley.
Going back to William Frawley.
Yeah, Frawley, thank you.
He was their uncle, right? Was he
Uncle
their
Char.
He-
He was.
Uncle
Say-
Bud? Was he Uncle Bud or just Bud? Who
It
was
was
he?
Bob. But I
Bob.
don't know if it was Uncle.
I was gonna say, I'm wondering, was he
Great
Uncle?
question.
I think it was just Bob.
Might not have been an uncle.
Okay, so he's not related. So he's basically a kind of the
Hired
Scoop
hand.
type of character.
Exactly.
But
So
he
that
was
means they
first.
can fight.
Yeah.
I
He
think that
was-
means they can fight.
He was first.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, did he?
No,
is that
wait a
when he
minute.
died? Because he died in '66. Is that
Right.
why they went to William Demarest?
I
Yeah,
think
because
that might
Bud
be
was
the
there
timeline.
when they had the real My Three Sons.
Might be
The
the
real three
timeline.
before Ernie. 'Cause-
Yes.
'cause which
Oh,
one they-
Chip Ernie. What was that? Oh, that lost battery power.
No.
We probably look even more handsome now. Actually, it looks pretty good. Actually, it still looks good. At Vidal Sassoon, if you don't look good, we don't look good. But we were saying also out there in Chatland, you know what? If we ever did this, because this is kind of a left-hand turn from the regular podcast, if anybody does have any recommendations for one lost episode and maybe even one color episode that we can kind of cover, that would be cool, because then you could kind of point us all, onto the same page so we can check it out.
Yeah.
Well, we
Something
got
like that might be cool.
One of the ones was from Amy Pierce,
Yes.
and I don't know if it was the adoption or it might have been another one, but I love the one where it was a letter to the boss, because it was a combination of him. It's almost like they made a couple of things, like as he wrote a letter to his boss,
Yeah.
put it in the mailbox.
Oh, they had to go
They were
try
trying to get it out.
of the mailbox. Okay.
That's pretty good.
So
Yeah.
because he got laid off.
Yeah.
So think about it. In the original 39, there was the episode Brother Ralph where he gets laid off. But then a small little thing when he writes the recommend.
Yeah, it's the
For
referral.
Norton,
Yeah.
The
yes.
referral
Same thing in the mailbox.
with the mailbox.
Yeah.
Now he never
Gotta
had to go get it
Gotta
back
get
out because the
And
show ended.
you just said something that triggered another Twos theory, Michael Bruce, about that referral. What's the other one I said to you?
Right.
I'll help him out, folks. The Twos theory is applicant.
Yes.
Applicant. So it's interesting because applicant Ralph kind of blurts it out
Yeah.
to the raccoon
Yeah.
president who forgets it.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he says the applicant is a
that was
bum.
a bump.
Yep. So
Oh,
two
yeah,
uses of
yeah,
applicant.
applicant.
Twos theory applicant.
That's interesting.
Yep,
Two
yep,
applicants.
yep.
Big
We're
use
gonna
of the word applicant.
We're gonna put together a database. I know we keep threatening to of Two's theory, okay? And we're gonna wrap it in gold foil and give it to Joe for Christmas, actually. And
Yeah. I would rather have the thing under. I would rather have the.
he wants coal in his stocking instead. Yes.
Yeah. I'd rather have my finger.
You'd rather
on the
have
mat
a water pan or whatever they call it.
What? There we go. There's another two.
What?
What do you think I am? A child? How did you say that? What
Oh,
you
the
say?
child
Yeah, the child
records.
Yeah.
There are two of those as well. And one's Christmas,
One's Christmas because she's
about
got
hiding the present.
Mommy. Yeah.
And then the other one is about the cake,
The cake.
eating the cake because she put the icing on the cake and then went upstairs.
Child.
There's two childs.
Right.
So I don't know. Again, okay. So let's throw it back to this. The twos theory thing is real, Joe, and it's all over the place. It's endemic to the classic 39. So
They borrow the ideas.
this lends credence to the idea that Gleason didn't want to be repetitive and felt maybe he couldn't maintain something.
Yeah, when we did you're saying what he's saying. We did.
Did
the
you guys like that? I like that.
With the names, all the repeating of names, like Fred.
Right.
Fred was one we said. There's a couple others though too.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah, and also Kevin.
Riley and Cassidy. Use several
Those are
times.
very common. Riley's up
True.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riley's like two right away. And
You're it's behind you.
they're starting to kick us out. The last drink has been issued, folks.
Cocktail hours.
That's
over.
it. There's no more drinks being served. Kevin says you should also watch Gleason in the Life of Riley. Is that what you were going to read?
Yeah.
No, Deanna.
Picnic?
Deanna Picnic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, another full-grown.
Yeah, full-grown.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi guys, sorry I'm late. Was watching Milton coverage. I couldn't wait any longer for the big wind to blow over.
Excellent. I was watching a Lost episode yesterday, and they actually talk about there's a big win kind of thing. There's a couple lines between Allison and Ralph. So that was around.
All right.
That was around.
Another recycle.
They were there.
Recycle.
Yeah, there is,
There.
you know. But remember, I think the classic 39 was like getting signed to a record label. And you could say the Lost episodes were demos of sorts. He's like, what song? Let's use this song. Let's use this part of this song and put it with this part.
Yes.
And that's what you had. They cobbled it together. So that's why I feel the classic, that's so great. The classic 39 is the best of the best. I love how you get a very big wide angle
wide
here.
angle, yeah.
This is,
Look at that,
we're
look
watching
at
the Fortune episode. And it's huge.
Well, that's
Kitchen
what's
area's a mess.
Yeah.
Apron on there.
Yeah, I know.
Towel and doors open.
See, that's-
Yeah, it is a rather
that's the,
unkept.
that's-
Her hair's a little off there.
Everything's messy.
Really.
Yeah. That's
Now,
pretty.
See how convenient that was? That is the kitchen table that's on wheels.
Yes.
Push your
Yes.
you can see it.
Yep.
Yes. For sure. Everybody saw it at home too.
This is good stage. Yes. This is good stage work. This is stuff that you don't see in other TV shows because they had 3 cameras and they could hide things and do things.
why must you always hide things?
Oh.
just said that. Is she set up for 4 people there? 1,
No.
2. But I know there's one on the third side.
Let's
Is
see
that
what we got.
Just off the plate. Must be.
Don't always say it must be, Alice. What you mean is maybe.
That's amazing
I think
writing.
there's only one time when there's 4 chairs. That's when Stanley's coming up.
No, I'm talking about she's set up to serve 4.
Oh, she got set up on the table.
Is she set up to
Oh.
serve 4? It looks
But,
like she's set up to serve
this is
4.
coming back, I guess, part 2. But here's the thing, too, about that. They never sat like this, of course, too. You'd have it in that roundhouse
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of setup. Yeah. All right. That is a spoonerism. That is like a spoonerism of a spoonerism. That dress pan bit,
Yeah.
he made up a new term.
Oh,
I mean, and he said it clearly. He didn't even stumble on that. Dress pan.
hand.
What is a
I
dress
have a
pan?
question.
Left
Was-
hand. I think
don't
it's going to say the drop hand, left hand draw. It's supposed to be left because it's on the
Top hand, left hand
hand
draw, which is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous
Right.
to say something like that.
It's easier to say top hand, dress pan, draw.
I'd rather just say dress pan. You're
Drop
right.
hand, top hand, dress.
But I got a question though with the seating. Is the
Yeah.
only? I'm just trying to think if there's another time where because when they come back from roller skating,
Maybe.
You have 3 of them sitting at the
Sitting
table.
out, he's behind
All
them.
4 of them are in the
Right there,
room,
right.
but Trixie and Alice and Norton are sitting down.
He's doing that case stuff.
He's angry.
Yeah,
He's like,
angry.
yeah.
Are the 4? Is there any other scene in the 39 where the 4 of them are in the room together? 3 out of the 4 sitting?
But I'm not nervous.
I don't think so. I think so. No.
That's the only time it's for chairs.
No.
I'm seeing them.
You usually get duos at the table.
Yeah.
And going back to Dial J, usually the angle in the drinking episode too, the grape juice, the angle of both of them at the table is usually dead center sitting, but actually in Dial J they're a little bit to the left. The blocking is a little different there. I don't know if it was by perchance, but usually the table is kind of set in a certain way where they're going to sit and hit that mark, because then you're talking about the cameras coming in, in that kind of, that's like your only stationary bit. It's your only stationary place. I would say that they would set that up very specifically, but they're a little over in Dial J, which is interesting. And I think the angle worked very well, by the way. But usually you get 2 people, Trixie catching
True,
up.
but I'm trying to think.
Right.
Eat your spaghetti, Dizzy Dean. That's 3 of them sitting down.
They're having it.
No,
Taxes.
No, but what I'm saying though is in the when they come back from roller skating, the 4 stars.
Oh, you mean the 4 in, but only 3
they're
are sitting.
all in the same room together.
Right, and 3 are sitting.
3 are sitting.
Yeah, you
Does
can't have
that ever
3.
happen again? I don't know.
No, I don't know, but we all know you just can't have that one person with their back to the.
Yeah, you would never
Well,
see that.
You could,
Right.
but the way
they
she's got
would
the cups. She's got the cups set up here,
Like that.
where if there was a chair per cup, you could see them. They would be in a semicircle. You could see all 4.
Yeah, but that's an interesting.
Yes.
I would
They're-
have.
they're-
Yeah, and it's
they're
roundhouse.
sitting,
And it's
and they're
roundhouse.
around it, and they're
Yes, yes. That's
That's
excellent.
Alice is set up for them to all sit down at the table here, half circle.
yeah,
Hey,
She doesn't have a cup at this
no.
end. She
Diano
has all
Pikanich.
yeah.
That's a Yugoslavian last name, right? You're in Hoboken too, I believe. Not that I'm stalking you, but I saw you. My ex-wife was half Yugoslavian. So,
Oh, okay.
Yes. But yes, hey, you listening? You
Now they don't
battle
know
axe,
what
you,
it was.
you dirty old, you. I was saying, I was looking at the comments, and somebody said, "You guys are awesome," and then I realized it was Joe Conti making the podcast.
I was talking
Yeah.
about everybody in the
Yeah,
chat. I was
yeah,
saying,
darn! I thought it was about us.
No, it's not about us.
Yeah, but what do they say about me, Joe? What do they say?
Yes, yes. How was I? Did they say anything about you? Were sitting right next to Joe Conti.
Well, I'm waiting for Herbert J. Whiteside to say something.
So yeah. What was I
Big
going to say?
Hollywood producer casting his next movie in the Raccoon.
That's
In the Bensonhurst chapter of
Someone to
Raccoons,
play a teacher.
talking about
You
going.
can't,
He could do a cattle call in Hollywood and have 90,000 people. Shirley Booth would be there.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, he's got to go. I mean, he's really going underground here, like to go to Bensonhurst.
Yes.
The Bensonhurst chapter of
It's
Raccoons.
the way with Fred and Mrs.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the setup.
Became all, yeah.
That's the setup, yep.
California.
Yep.
Deanna said Croatian. Which I
Croatian.
think is
Croatian.
Yeah, well, that's part of the old.
Oh,
part
Croatia,
of
the
the old
former
Yugoslavia.
Yugoslavia. Yes, the revolution in
Yeah.
1995. Actually, yes.
can't-
There's a great book about that revolution. It's called Hold On. It's called Have a Nice Day, and it goes into the separation of Yugoslavia into, of course, Bosnia to the north, and of course the
Serbia.
creation of
Serbia
Serbia.
part of it?
I'm not a surfer, and no, yes, Serbia, yes, and of course, thank you, and Croatia.
Croatia.
Yes. But what about the islands, though? Susak and Susa. Susa, of course, the smaller island in the Adriatic Sea, of course,
Yes.
which were held by Italians sometimes in World War II. Are you listening to? Are you writing this down, Michael Bruce?
No, I'm thinking of the Adriatic.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes, and it was held by Mussolini at times in World War II. Actually, it was Italian territory.
Whenever I think of the
Is anybody still awake? I don't
Whenever
know.
I think of the Adriatic, I think of
Now here's something interesting. Go ahead, Joe.
no, it's just saying I think of Albania.
It's got the three
One,
things, the
two,
three coffee cups, right?
3.
There's 3 coffee cups.
Okay, now.
But this is
Norton's not even supposed to be going with him. Why is that third cup? Because Norton comes down and goes, "You don't expect you're going with me, right?"
true.
So why would that third coffee cup be there?
Well, Trixie.
All right. First of all,
Oh, here's your Nescafe.
Well,
Here's your-
yeah.
here's your-
And that is a very large tea kettle.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
What is that, from the army?
Yeah.
Bro, an entire barrack is going to drink tea?
She could serve the whole building.
I mean, yes.
Attention, everyone.
The tea is ready.
Coffee.
I didn't know that. I'm like, this can't. Like,
Oh my God, it's huge.
They're having a lot of fun that we're here so long that the lights went out. Steve Francis like, and now it's time for the late show. And Kevin, who guys? I haven't seen this much ham in one place since I was in a Polish deli.
That's really good.
Uh,
That's really good. That's
you guys-
really
oh,
good,
Steve
Kevin.
Francis, you guys need a lamppost to light up that
Look,
room.
wait a minute. Diano mentioned Susak. See? That's right. And I'm right. See? Screenshot Shift Command 4. Let me make sure I get a screenshot of that. Yeah, Diano, awesome, brother. I will be at the Hoboken tree lighting appearing in early December. I've done that for 20 years. I've also been a special guest in the Hoboken Halloween parade with, of course, Mayor
Bunny,
Ravi
you say?
Bala.
Hoboken.
And, yes, and I take, yes,
I was there
Bugs
back
Bunny
in
says it.
In Hoboken. I was in Hoboken, sorry.
Nice. I go during the daytime though, so I can get parking tickets and go to Biancamano. I still get the prosciutto and fresh mut sandwich, my favorite in all of Hoboken. And Benny Tadino's has been very good to me through the years. Well, I keep telling Michael Bruce I got to take him to Benny Tadino's, get one of those big slices. No, that's the old, that's a pizza place,
yeah.
huge slices. And it's good. It's not the best pizza in the world, but it's just, it's yeah, you're not getting that.
We went
No.
to the Elysian Cafe.
The Elysian Cafe, right across the street up near the Elks. Yeah, good stuff. Good
Join
stuff.
you. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got stuck.
You've been in that Elks building?
Like Frank Brady.
Yes.
Join you.
Look how mad Ralph is here. He is furious. I like how Norton's outfit is kind of a zoot suit.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Tom and Jerry
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That cut is very of its time, double-breasted,
Yeah.
of course.
that particular garment.
That garment does look. Oh, stop it, Earl! You stop. No, what does Ralph say outside?
It's weird how it makes him look almost boxy. It
Yeah.
makes him look bigger.
A double,
That's what they would square up.
double-breasted. Yeah,
And he probably doesn't even have a pleat in the back. Back then, they didn't have.
they were
pleats.
just they just
They-
hung.
They hung, and sometimes
Yeah.
they'd be a little tapered at the waist and then go back
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. He got that at Robert Hall.
Yeah. We're doing our Christmas shopping at Robert Hall.
Robert Hall is the reason. Yes. I'm Les Paul for Robert Hall. Yes. Robert Hall, everybody. Small New Jersey chain of clothing stores. The last one closed, probably, no pun intended with closed, probably about 81, 82.
Yeah.
There was one on Bloomfield Avenue in North Newark.
North Newark, and then there was one in East Orange. I believe.
Yeah. Yes, there was. I think I've passed that. A lot of them, and then after that, we'd go over to Valley Fair.
To get your appliances.
Yeah.
They didn't have it. Then you went to Prince Range.
What is Stephen French? You guys need to stay on for just 3 hours and 45 minutes more. By then, I will be in Tibet. Diano said, rumor has it Benny Tadino's is part of the French Connection. How true it is, I don't know. Benny, you know what, Diano? Do you know Arbin? I go way back with Arbin, actually. He's a police officer. Benny's son. Benny was you might not know this. You probably know this, actually, Diano. But Benny was a successful singer in their homeland of Albania. He was a pretty well-known singer, and then he came over and created a pizzeria in the late 60s in Hoboken. Yeah, and the crowd goes mild. Yeah. Oh, Vinny's out in you're Southern California?
Is that the same statue with, hey, Rob, the guy in a rotten bomb?
Wow, you can see so much detail here.
Yeah.
Oh, this overacting is like.
No.
She's singing.
He hasn't moved.
Yeah. Oh, you have reason to be concerned, babe. He hasn't moved.
She's in a musical right now.
I think this actor is in hell. The guy that's playing the butler, because he's like, what is she doing?
What is she doing? Yes, she's filming over here.
Yeah, yes.
I saw him in car 54. He shows up.
It must be that Mr. Clandon that they were.
Good, there's the doorbell. I'm gonna get a shotgun, and I'm
Must
gonna
be
shoot-
that,
shoot
Mr.
myself in the face.
Thank God there's the doorbell.
Yeah,
Get me out of this
exactly.
room
Yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
Rotten bomb.
You'll hear.
This whole scene has some peculiar stuff
I
going on.
think
We
that's
talked
what he
about
says
this,
right here.
about characters, not us talking and standing around. What were you talking about, Ray? Now that's an interesting callback to that little
It's a
plot in the
great
beginning.
callback.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
First of all, that bird could not exist in that cage if it were real. That bird is huge.
Yes.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, you got to see it.
That's really funny. I'm telling you, don't embarrass me.
How many times, Joe? Twice?
Twice.
Two times.
I think
Yeah.
it's twice he says it.
Famous line, but he says it twice.
Only says it
Yeah.
It's one of the lost episode lines.
Is it?
Sweet kid. How many times in the lost episode, sweet kid?
Oh, really?
Here in 39? Baba.
Look at this guy, rotten Bob.
One time, sweet kid.
Sweet Kid one time, and
Wait. Break down Sweet Kid for me, because are you saying he says it in reference, or he actually
No,
does?
just like
it?
you're the sweet kid. You know, you could.
Yeah.
I think he did it when he got
The irons.
the irons.
When he got
Right.
laid off, because
Yeah.
short, need a little few bucks. You know,
Sweet
cover
kid.
everything.
And who does he say it to?
Says the Rock.
There's the rap. There's like I think-
That's-
does he get a
that's
little
really
thing,
good.
Does he get a thing on the
I
chin?
think
The little,
he,
the
yeah, I
little
think
thing
he
on the
does
chin?
Sweet Kid.
That's
I think he
obscure.
says
Does it,
he's
but he
what it
does-
grows
yeah,
twice.
And that's another lost episode. Does a lot.
Norton
So-
does it in a.
And sweet kid in the lost episodes all the time.
And
Norton does it.
steamed,
I'm
Don't
ste-
get me steamed. a
Steamed?
zillion
There's
times.
another
Okay.
one once, right?
Steamed is another one.
Once.
Now, Steamed is also it's on that Jackie Gleason album where he does a song about the Honeymooners. He does a Honeymooners song, and Steamed is one that comes from like earlier Gleason.
Yeah.
It was carried, you know what I mean? And remember the classic 39 is a little more homogenized. It's a little more cleaned up and
Yeah,
gussied up, for mass consumption. Again, it's the professionally recorded album as opposed to rough demos.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff just kind of was in that. It stayed in the era before it.
Yeah.
You had remnants.
Yeah.
When does he say steam too? Is that in Safety? The car accident?
When is that?
Ooh, that gets me steamed or something, right?
Once.
Steamed is awesome. I love steamed.
But
That's
like I
great.
said, the lost.
You guys think I'm gonna use the restroom?
Okay.
Steamed.
Steam.
App wheel?
Ralph's.
Don't yeah.
What?
Yeah.
App wheel.
Don't get me steam house. Did he say don't get me steam house? Or I'm thinking of a lost episode.
Yeah, dress it.
Yeah.
I thought he's like, oh, that gets me steamed.
I
or
know
something.
she says, he's always in Pins and Needles.
good.
He's always upset. He's always getting.
might be
I
in
think
Pins and Needles.
She says he gets steamed.
Right, okay.
Once,
She says.
but
She
I
said
think he does say it once.
I thought he
too.
said it once.
Yeah, but I just
Yeah, because I've seen the
and I know she's what a
always
grouch
there in the lost. Steamed all 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Steam,
Yeah.
steam.
because again, it wasn't refined, so it wasn't perfectly written.
Yeah.
They were still developing the characters, and it was all about the characters. It really wasn't about the exact dialogue. It was over the top. It was gruff.
Yes, I say you thinking that when they went to 39, that they wanted to, like she said, clean that up a little bit, with a
Absolutely.
different approach, because everybody was so used to the one from the Jackie Gleason show.
Yeah,
Then when
and
they
don't
came
forget
here,
it was
they wanted to-
part of a variety show.
Yeah.
So they knew, hey, listen, this is just part of this
Yeah.
big thing. This was it.
This was it. Like I say,
This was the whole show.
Like,
it had to be
that
amazing.
little 10-minute, 15-minute
Right.
portion didn't have to be great.
Didn't
Because
have to
other
be
things,
perfect.
other things that were coming on after it.
Exactly.
But this is it.
This.
This is it.
Standalone show.
Yeah, 100%.
Standalone show. Ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
money's
You get rated,
involved,
being
commercials,
rated by
you know, yeah.
100%.
sponsors, stuff like that.
Mhm.
you know.
So while Ron's in the bathroom, can we end this?
Sure. Oh, okay. You're coming out with this truth theory.
Oh no.
All right, we're off the air. Okay.
All right. All right. Now we got some other comments here. Let's go through this real quick. Mark is saying, "Am I late for the eats?" Always a funny line. Always love that, and I use that in my private life all the time. Did I miss the eats? Or am I too late for the eats? That's a big one. It's carried over. I love that one. Deanna, yes, come fortune, eat your breakfast. Man, oh man, that's another topic one day. Overacting.
Yeah.
We have to do we have to see a list of that. Who
Yeah,
overacted in this thing?
There's the two right there. Mrs. Monahan and Mrs. O'Donnell, same name, Mary.
That's Two's theory. There you go, right there. Excellent.
Mary.
Excellent.
Mary.
And
We
Steve-
have
Steve Franchi has
Oh,
two
what do you got?
theory, two barber references.
To what?
two
Two
barber
barber
references.
Hey, this guy
So,
Bob.
Moss is
Thank you,
barber.
Stephen. Wait, what are they?
This one.
This one?
and
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
yeah,
bottom.
yeah. Perfect.
Oh, you
Perfect.
pay income tax. Ralph, I told you to go down to the barbershop and get your income tax.
Oh yeah.
Three, Gary.
Oh my god.
Great.
I don't know if we haven't. Well,
Oh.
I have a question, but I don't know how many people are tuned in. But like we were talking about this before, when he says, "Oh, baby," right? Because he's not. He's
Yeah,
getting right. What does Gleason sign on the paper?
I think he signs his name.
Think so?
I think.
Hey,
when-
Deanna,
I
you-
always
you,
watch that when people sign stuff.
Almost looks
I always
like
wanted to
they're
see if they're signing their
name.
real name.
Yeah.
I think they scribble
Yeah.
or they sign their real name.
Because
There's
you
no
think-
way he's writing right.
No,
Just think of making an R and a J.
well, I was watching the tax episode recently.
And the R is like harder.
Yeah.
Where J is like real easy. You
Oh,
you're
I
a
know
J.
that. Yeah.
You're a J.
In the tax episode, doesn't Norton like literally make like a square on the paper he's working on when he's taking the notes at the table? If you look at it again, I think that's the one I was watching it recently. When they're talking about something, there's like a reaction happening. He actually just goes like this out of nowhere. I think he just draws like a line.
Oh, like when he has the paper and he's trying to go through.
Yeah.
We're gonna list all the things that you didn't list.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I think he actually like makes a line, like a giant line out of nowhere, which is kind of odd. But I think it's always scribbles.
Okay.
I think it's 9.5.
We're gonna do a trivia question.
Oh. Oh, okay, good. We got a trivia
Yeah,
question.
trivia question, yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, cool.
It's not convention worthy, but it's
All right, trivia question. Here we go, folks. Get ready. All right.
what color are Mr. Johnson's socks? No, I'm just
Black and white.
Okay. The happy handy housewife helper. What does it do? I'm gonna give you hold on. It does 5 things.
Nice.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Why don't
Bruce.
yeah, like you can
Well, corn apple. There's one.
Yeah, right.
scales fish.
Scales of fish.
Oh yeah. I don't have one.
Well, it also removes the corns on your feet.
Excellent. I gotta watch that
Remove
episode. I haven't seen that
corns.
one.
Removes
All right,
corns.
so we got scaled
That's
fish.
3 out of
corn,
5.
Corey
It's
apple,
good.
Corey's apple.
Anyway,
Opens cans.
Franchi. Franchi said spearfishing.
Yeah,
Is that cat? Yeah.
So who's
Opens cans.
Open can. Okay, there's 6 of them. I think.
Oh, sharpens knives.
Sharpened knives.
So that's a
That's
6.
6.
And it's
I think
7 with
one,
spearfishing.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 if you want to count
Spearfishing, because that's a great one.
That's a
And it also has a skate key on it if you want to count.
Oh, it's
yeah. I would count that.
that. Which
Wow.
to me is an ad lib. What do you think?
Skate
You can
key
discuss
is
why
most.
it's
Yes, I think
Skate
it is.
key?
By the way.
Skate key. Yeah. Give it a skate key.
1,000% an ad lib.
You don't need this. Give it a skate key.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Skate key is an ad lib. That
Yeah.
was Art Carney just a
How
little
did he
flash.
use that line? The skate key.
He goes after he got it. I think he said something about
He's like riffing.
yeah, and I think he says oh, you got to remove the skate key, or you got to use the skate key. I think that's what he says.
Yeah. So what was really cool was, they as improv guys were putting anything into this handy housewife helper. They were just
Yeah.
ascribing any purpose to it, just kind of riffing with it, which I think is cool because
Yeah.
they were given this thing and now it's like an improv class, literally like an
Yeah.
improv class live, what was I going to say too?
Wait,
Go.
Mark Strouch. Louis just left to go serve the cookies.
Is it?
They're
I smell something burning.
cookies. The cookies.
We were saying did we mention that earlier? I forget
What?
because it's been 2.5 hours. Cookies, 2 references and 2 of the same inflection. That's a twos theory. They don't want me down there for me to buy cookies.
Cookies.
Ralph says cookies the same way that Twinkle says cookies.
Right.
Twinkle's teeth are maybe clenched closed, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, it's yes, the same. That is twos theory all the way. Did you guys like this? Did you guys like this live from the Tiki Hut
Yeah.
podcast? Oh, I know you did.
What do
Joe,
you
but-
guys
Yeah.
think?
What do you think out there in
out there in TV land.
yeah, yes, I know. I was trying not to say it, but I wanted to say it too. But we really hope you liked it. We had gotten this together. We were psyched about this.
Yeah.
And
We were again, just like the convention. I was more concerned, like with the the technical thing. I knew once we start going, we were going to have fun.
Yeah.
And it would be at least fun for us. I'm not sure how much fun for everybody else, but please let us know if you want to email us or write a letter, 328 Chauncey Street or 33 Kosciuszko Street.
Yeah.
Gibson.
Now throw us some comments, on, of course, the Honeymooners podcast group. And of course, I think we're navigating into beginning to say goodbye.
Yes.
Yes, we've done 2.5 hours, almost 2 hours, 28 minutes and 22 seconds.
It's almost as long.
plus
It's
quarter
almost as long as Murder Strikes Out. I don't know
We
if
did
you
about
guys-
5 episodes here.
Louis just got up right before the ending.
and walked out.
And
And walked out.
He got up
walked
and he
out,
walked out.
But
Don't bother him none.
yeah, and Scott Hirsch said he loved it. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Once again, hope the weather's good by you. And Scott, also, are you going to the grand reopening of the Mai Kai in Fort Lauderdale? I think that's happening very soon. They've remodeled the place. The Mai Kai, of course, is a legendary 50s Tiki restaurant, performance area. Really, really cool place. Michael Bruce just played drums in Fort Lauderdale with a country band over the summer on tour down there.
Country band?
Well, they were from Nashville, not necessarily country. But,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I was sorry.
No, I wasn't like country.
I was gonna
They
say
played some.
They were polka. No, it wasn't polka.
Play with the Schmengi brothers.
Bye, Mr. Cramden. I'll be seeing you. Love that, Mark. Awesome.
Yeah, Deano, this is awesome. We got a home.
Yeah,
we have to do
Deano,
it
you
again.
said
How about
you
tomorrow night?
you moved to Fairview in 1973,
Well, I'm in-
and I'm here to tell you, of course you did. Being based on your last name, of course you moved to Fairview.
Yes.
Awesome.
Stephen, of course, Franchi, another proof
yeah.
of better living through podcasts.
Now Rosanna might have it though. Variale Gottlieb. Good night. And then she said there were 2 good nights. That's wonderful.
We gotta end
Yeah.
on that.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank
of
you,
course,
everybody.
Non-Productive. Thank you, Frank,
Thank
for
you,
your
Frank.
help on a technical end. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Awesome. This is all of us.
Watching at home.
This is Joe Conti. This is Joe Conti. This is Louis Fats, Michael Bruce, and me, Ron Albany, signing off. And of course, we got to say, night all.
Florida's raccoon.
Yeah.
RX.
So Joe Lindor hit a grand slam in the 6th inning.
So they got
They were
the
losing
form up.
1-0 the whole. That's all they Phillies.
They're unbelievable.